Okay, warm greetings, Auntie Jean, and for everyone who is joining us on the Black Book Show in collaboration with Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. I am Aconu Sankofa, the host of the Black Book Show. And for those who, don't know too much about the Black Book Show, in case you're watching it for the first time, this is the Black Book Show virtual book tour. I also have the Black Books radio show and podcast. But the Black Book Show virtual book tour started almost 4 years ago now, and it's a phenomenal platform. I'm not just saying it because I'm the founder of it and I host it, but the reason I say that is because it's a unique platform that allows Black authors of African heritage from around the world to talk about their books. We have authors not just in England, the UK, some in Africa, some in the Caribbean, USA, Dubai, different parts of the world, and authors that talk on a variety of different genres. So, some people have got fiction, non-fiction, history, culture, children's books, dating, finance, politics, job hunting. I've had so many people, overcoming obstacles in their life, whether it's, health, such as sickle cell cancer. And I think it's a great platform for learning as well as, finding books. It's a place where people say, oh, where can I get books, by authors of African heritage, Black authors? This is a place where, where we'll open your eyes to a wide variety of different books, where you can discover books written by Black authors. But also, in terms of learning, there's so much that I learned by watching every single show, by the variety of authors that talk on the books, talk on the show on a range of different subjects. So the Black Book Show virtual book tour happens once a month. It's normally on the last Sunday of each month, and it is in conjunction with Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. And you will be hearing a variety of different authors. It's a 3-hour show. You'll be hearing a variety of different authors that will be talking about their books. The authors in general, they get 15 minutes, but depending on time, sometimes some of the authors may speak for a little bit longer. Obviously, it's a live show, so for example, if one of the authors before them only finished in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, there may be a bit extra time which could go on to the next author. But in general, you'll be hearing authors speak about their books. The first author is Andrew Muhammad. Andrew Muhammad is also known as the investigator. I'm just gonna say to the authors a few things and a few house rules before we begin. In fact, to everyone, if you could please mute yourself if you're not speaking, so that we don't pick up any background noise. Also, if you're an author and we've done the sound and video checks earlier, but if you didn't do a sound and video check, please can you just send me a message to notify me that you're on the Zoom. It's very, very important that I know if you're author that's going to be speaking on the show, that is. You will know if you're author that's going to be speaking on the show. And it's also important that you change your name. To change your name, if you go to the top on Zoom, you should see that where it's either a video or of yourself, or it'd be an icon, or it would just say Black Book Show guest. I would advise you to put the video on so you know which one it's you. And then once you've allocated yourself, go to the top right-hand side of that icon, and then you can rename yourself. But again, if you have any difficulties, just message yourself. But that's very important if you're author, so that I can identify that you're on the Zoom call, and so also the guest audience, in case they want to raise a question in the Zoom chat directly to you or ask you something about your book. Please, authors, remember when you're talking about your book to mention where your book is available to be purchased from. Also, yes, put it in the Zoom chat, but remember there's also people that are going to be listening via Black Culture Radio. It's on Facebook, and there's people going to be watching on YouTube afterwards. So although, yes, you do put it in the Zoom chat, but please do also mention so people on those platforms know where to get a copy of your book as well. Okay, so I'm now going to go on to the first author. The first author is Andrew Muhammad. Andrew Muhammad is his second appearance on the Black Book Show virtual book tour. I think it was about 2 years ago you appeared on the first one, 2.5 years ago. Time goes so quick. But Andrew Muhammad, welcome back onto the Black Book Show virtual book tour. Please start by, giving a brief introduction about who you are, and, tell us all about the book that you've written. And I know you're joining us from the Gambia as well, so you could tell us a few minutes about obviously what you're doing over there as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Mekan. And again, bow to you, brother. I bow for the work that you're doing. May Almighty God continues to bless you, brother. You're a world traveler. You live, with your passion on your sleeves and in your heart, brother. So thank you, and I love the collaboration, because I believe that we should do more collaborations with each organization. So Auntie G is a great person to collaborate with. She's known all throughout, and she's a living legend. So I just wanted to thank the two of you already for this great collaboration, the great works that you're both doing together. I think that's more important. More important. Great to see you, my queen. Yes, my name is Andrew Mohammed, aka the Investigator. Basically, I see my life work as an activist, and that comes in many forms. So yes, I'm an author, written the book called Free Your Mind, which is basically a Black or African history heritage book. I wrote it after becoming awoke myself and being woken up by many great people, such as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, to name a few. Those are the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. There are quite a few people that woke me up mentally. And so I wanted to write a book that really serves as an introduction and a reformation of our history. I wanted to write a book that dealt with African history, but from a UK perspective. I found that many of the books that are written for us mainly come from an American perspective, which is good, which is very good. I'm not gonna put that down, but I thought that there is a market and a necessity for us to write a book that came from an African perspective, but living from the UK. So the Free Your Mind book is a book that starts off with global world history, emanating from the motherland initially, and then I take a course or a journey that starts in the motherland that led us into other parts of Asia, and then into Europe, and then into the UK. I wanted to do a book that started and to show the African origins of all of the planet Earth. We all know that the planet Earth is 196,940,000 square miles. And I personally come from the perspective that every inch of it belongs to us. We are the original people in every aspect of it. So my book, Free Your Mind, is for that next generation, aimed primarily at that next generation, to make them understand that you're not Black because you're cursed, you are Black because you are first. And no matter where you go around the earth, the original and the first people are you, and you are the builders of some of the greatest high-tech civilizations. So Free Your Mind is primarily an African history-based book that deals with giving our next generation inspiration and glorification of their ancestors, and to make sure that they don't ever be ashamed of who they are. It was sold all over the world, and I'm very happy for that. But as I wrote that book, it wasn't really a book written for economic advantages, to be honest with you. I wrote that book purely as an activist, doing something that put myself, my family, and my community back in the global picture. And I say that because I know Mackinnon wanted me to touch on what I'm doing in Gambia, but I must say, as a prelude to that, it led me also, because I'm always trying to think about that next generation. It led me to set up a business. From doing that book, it led me to set up a business as an activist, going into schools, colleges, and universities, whereby I could try and reach my next generation in the school setting. Once that was achieved, and I thank Almighty God Allah for that, it then led me on to establishing my own supplementary schools outside of the school network, whereby we could literally educate without no apology African heritage children, male and female. So I started one about 15 years ago now. And by the grace of God, we have now got two, which is the Westside Young Leaders Academy, the Lewisham Young Leaders Academy. And we are now got several other academies, all flourishing, that we work with and connected to. That work led me on to my next venture, which was to re-establish a footing in Africa, the motherland, Gambia. I came to Gambia with my wife about 18 months ago, and as soon as we landed, we knew that this was a place of promise, a place of opportunity, a place that I personally believe I found peace and harmony. I've traveled all over the world looking for that place, and I believe I found it, and we believe so, that we found it in the Gambia. So 18 months, we bought land and we built a resort from scratch. The land was jungle land. We cleared it, we built on it, and we built from scratch. And by the grace of God, we built a home on that land too. So we called it a hometel as opposed to a hotel. It's a hometel because we're inviting people to come to real Africa. We didn't want to set it up in the tourist area. We wanted them to really feel the essence of Africa. So we set it up on a small coastal village called Sanyang. We're 10 minutes away from the beach, and we've built 11 apartments, all with ensuite shower rooms, a restaurant, and 2 swimming pools. And we've been happy. We've been happy with what we've done. We opened up our resort in December, and we are absolutely amazed, glorified, and just so enjoyed that the community has been supporting us. We were sold out months in advance for the whole of December. Then a few weeks ago, we had our academy come and visit us. So we arranged for 21 of our pupils, young leaders that came from London, to come and stay with us. And we took them all over Gambia. We wanted to introduce them to the real Africa. There's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be looking away from. And they absolutely fell in love with Africa from a first answer. From behind me, you can see where we took our young leaders into schools, and the welcoming that our brothers and sisters in Gambia gave them, they made them appreciate they are ambassadors. So just to give you an idea, I'll share 1 or 2 pictures with you, and then I'll be finished. So basically, this, I don't see, can you see that image there, brothers and sisters? Auntie Jean?
Yes, we can. It's clear. Thank you.
Yes. So this is, we call it the Royal Sankofa, because we see you, our people, as being royalty. Yeah, our history has been lied to us. We are coming from royalty. So we call it Royal Sankofa. Sankofa, as we know, is the Adinkra symbol from West Africa. Many say from Ghana. That says to return and reclaim that which belongs to you. So we built this as a place so that our brothers and sisters as activists can know that there's a beautiful place that we've built. We paid a lot of money building this, and we invested because we personally believe that we need the best. We didn't want to buy a resort or a hotel that's already been made and we're buying it and renovating. I didn't want that. I wanted something that we built from scratch using the history and the activism of what we've done. So we call it Sankofa. Sankofa is the feminine bird. It's a female bird. So everything on this land is based on feminine energy. The 11 apartments are named after African women that we personally believe gave us great history and great understanding. So our various roundhouses, all the roundhouses are round because that represents the spirituality. That's one of our roundhouses. That's one of our VIP ones. And there's, as you said, it's got its own private dipping pool. So that's the roundhouse is named after great African women such as Queen Hatshepsut, Queen Sheba, Queen Tai, Queen Nzinga, Harriet Tubman, Amy Garvey, Sojourner Truth, So we wanted to honor our sisters and their spiritual journey that they've given to us. The only aspect of our land that is not named after a woman is our restaurant and lecture hall, which is named after Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. So that's the only male tribute. And the reason why we named it after our Honorable Marcus Garvey is because he was really the one that gave us the impotence to return back to Africa and build. And because he didn't physically return back to Africa himself, we believe that we have done this as a fulfillment of his vision. And so we give him the glory. This is one of our rooms. This is one of our rooms that we built. So you can see there that we wanted to give quality that we're used to, but at the same time, African feel to it, the African culture. So when you come here, you're not staying in the European hotel. This is built by activists from the UK who are proud to reintroduce us back to Africa. So, you know, people are always saying to us, how did we do this when we only came to Africa 18 months ago? That's because we personally believe where there's a mission and where there's a will, the universe will back you. The universe will literally give you. So we have returned back, knowing that we came here to work. This here is one of our peacocks from Senegal. So we wanted to build a resort that took us back to nature. We find that as African people, our secret weapon, our secret force was nature. And being in the West has made us afraid of nature, made our children afraid of nature. They see a spider or we see a spider and we want to scream and shout, but not knowing that it's nature that unifies us. It's nature that turns us around. So purposely, we wanted to reintroduce our people back to nature, to live with nature without, again, no apology for that. And so, brothers and sisters, that is the theme, and that is the reason why we returned. I'm telling you now, living here in Africa, I now appreciate the wicked destruction that's been done to us on a daily basis in the UK. We are so strong in the UK, but we don't appreciate our strength. We are mentally and psychologically and spiritually attacked every single second. And because we were born into it, we don't appreciate it. We just have a tough skin. But I'm telling you now, brothers and sisters, I have now started to live my life for the first time being in Africa, live my life for the first time being here in Africa. And my last image I'll show you is us working with the schools. That's some of my students at the front work.
I think your connection has just lost a connection. It's a bit choppy now.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, a phone call's trying to come through. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters. So what I was showing you as I finish now, because my time is up, is us working with the children in Gambia, exchanging cultures, exchanging educational aspects, changing the social life, and we just wanted to bring together a new generation of African unity. So I started off with my book, Free Your Mind, but Free Your Mind wasn't just to be words, it wanted to be action. So I personally believe that now I'm putting into action what I wrote about in my book 15 years ago. All right, so I'll stop there, brothers and sisters, and I thank you so much for your patience.
Absolutely wonderful. Don't forget to let people know where they can get your book from.
Absolutely. The website, and I'll put it in the chat room, is theinvestigator.org.uk, in theinvestigator.org.uk.
Okay, thank you very much. So that is Andrew Mohammed joining us from the Gambia. And, you know, I can't not mention the Gambia without mentioning my book, Life in Gambia, The Smiling Coast of Africa. So you see, Andrew Mohammed, he's there, he's got his hotel, you know, in the Gambia. But I'm actually the author. I'm the author of several books. So I'm just going to share my screen now. And, you know, one of the books that I'm author of is called Life in Gambia, The Smiling Coast of Africa, which basically documents my journey, my experience. I've been to the Gambia 5 times now. I've lived there twice, but it more covers my journey the first 3 times I went to the Gambia. In particularly, you know, in 2019 when I spent 6 months in the Gambia. You know, Gambia is one of the most popular destinations to travel to in Africa. It's hot weather, beautiful beaches, rich culture, and friendly citizens make it an ideal holiday location for many people. There's also a growing influx of people of African heritage born in the diaspora who have either relocated permanently to the Gambia or they have plans to move there in the future. Author McConan Sanko for myself. Well, at the time of writing, I've been there 3 times, but I've been there 5 times. Now, in 2019, I spent 6 months living in the Gambia. In the book, I highlight my experience of the Gambia. My journey is from the perspective of someone of African Caribbean heritage that was born in the diaspora, UK. And during my time in the Gambia, I connected with my African roots. I explored opportunities available in the Gambia. Highlights of my experience included learning about Gambian culture, the different tribes, spending time with the locals, visiting villages, attending a wedding ceremony, teaching in schools, filming and edited videos for the popular Blagsit YouTube channel, and meeting the movers and shakers of the Gambia. Now, this book, Life in Gambia, The Smiling Coast of Africa, which I've written, which is available on Amazon, along with my other books, Experiences of Living Across Africa, which in that book, Experiences of Living Across Africa, there's a chapter in the book where I talk about the Gambia, but it also covers my time in Ghana and people that have been to different African countries. I've also authored How to Market and Sell Your Book, a guide for beginners, and The Rise of Rastafari. But I want to concentrate now on particularly life in Gambia. And you know, when I went to the Gambia, it was first in 2018 for a week on holiday. You know, I loved it, fell in love with it. I went back in February 2019, and then I spent 6 months there from June to I think it was June 2019 to the start of 2020. Now that time when I went to the Gambia, there wasn't as much information and that's available about the Gambia now on YouTube and you know picture. I went there, I'd never seen a picture of the Gambia, I'd never seen an image from the Gambia first. And I think one of the people that I went with when we said we're going to the Gambia, I was like, you know, where's that? He didn't even know where it was. Gambia is now one of the most talked about destinations in Africa. I mean, a lot of people talk about Ghana because of the year of turn. A lot of people are moving to Ghana, but Gambia as well. So you know, a lot of people now are more fortunate that there's a lot more information available pertaining to you know the Gambia. As I mentioned, I was part of a YouTube channel which is very popular called Blacksit, and we did a lot to showcase the Gambia, and a lot of people have moved or relocated as a result of that. And I'd say one of the also the you know the pioneers or the people that helped me on my journey with the Gambia, I do want to give acknowledgements to because she recently passed away about a week ago in the Gambia, and her name. This is a picture of her. Her name is Shakina Chinedu. Some of you may be aware of her or not, but she relocated to the Gambia in 2017. And yeah, she was one of the you know the people that was key that I would say in helping a lot of people move back to the Gambia. When I went to the Gambia, part of my you know each time in 2019, you know the time I went there, sorry 2018 for the week while I was on holiday, I met her. I already knew her from England. I saw her in February when I went back there. And then when I was there for 6 months, she helped facilitate my move to the Gambia. You know, she found my accommodation. She met me at the airport. We went to, you know, a restaurant together. She took me to the supermarket. So she helped me settle in the Gambia. As she's, you know, recently passed away, I just want to take this time out to in honor of her memory, Shakina Chinedu. I know she also helped a lot of other people with, relocating and moving to the Gambia. And before the Gambia became popular, she was one of the people that was, there at the forefront. She campaigned for citizenship, for the right for people in the diaspora to have citizenship in the Gambia. So I just wanted to take this time out to just really honor the legacy of Shakina Chinedu and say thank you for everything she's done for me personally and also in the Gambia. But for me, she'll always be remembered as the person who helped to kind of facilitate, my move in the Gambia. So swiftly moving on now, I'm going to introduce the next author. Thank you very much, Andrew Mohammed, for sharing your story and your journey. The next author is Michelle. Michelle is joining us from the United States. So Michelle, if you could just please introduce yourself, tell us what state you're based in, and then, go on to tell us about the book you've written.
Okay. Peace and love, everyone. I'm very glad to be among such great people. My name is Michelle Renee, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois, in the States. I am an educator who has taught all levels from pre-K all the way to college and everything in between. My husband and I, who is now deceased, we founded and operated our own independent school here in Chicago for 18 years. Right now, I support Rise Academy in Zimbabwe, Africa, and several other independent schools here in the States, particularly in my local area with professional development. My main goal is to empower those who empower our youth. That includes administrators, teachers, parents, as well as mentors. I also teach composition and African American literature, as well as protest poetry at Kennedy King College here on the south side of Chicago. You can learn more about me and purchase my books at michellerenee.com. Renee is spelled R-H-N-E-A, michellerenee.com. The purpose of my writing is to give my readers a glimpse of the mistake that Black families here in the States have made over the generations since we were stolen, enslaved, and sort of freed. So we can learn how to make our own choices regarding our families. And my writing is also about the journeys that we take to find our history, to find our culture, and to find our familiar backgrounds. I write to give my community a glimpse of our mistakes so that we can reflect on those and fix those so that it won't cause our children to experience the same generational curses, which has diminished our Black family structure, in hopes that they can make better choices for their children and their children. The two books that I want to talk about today are In Each Moment and The Enemy Within. In Each Moment is a book of short stories, and it's about everybody wants to love and be loved, right? Everybody. In Each Moment is an African American anthology of short stories about the life and love, depicting the struggles of families, the hurts and joys and triumphs, and the idea that we all long for the one thing that will make us feel whole and fulfilled, and that is love. But what we miss is, instead of seeking the love of others, we need to love ourselves first, because two people can't make a whole. Two half people can't make a whole. Two people that have experienced trauma and not gotten past it cannot make a healthy whole and build healthy families. The main characters in Each Moment experience many emotions, from immense joy and unimaginable struggles to sheer trauma and pain. They are characters that my readers say you can feel. The genre that I write in is creative nonfiction, where I take the real lives of people around me and interweave them into stories that can be used in classrooms, because that is another thing. Right now, there is so much urban fiction literature, and much of the new contemporary literature can't be used in classrooms. So my goal is to help. I'm not the only one, but to help and partner with other authors who are attempting to write good quality books and literature that we can use in our classrooms again. Not since the Black Arts movement in the 70s have we gotten a large body of literature that we can use in our classrooms. So that is my goal. And I look for other people in my local area, especially my students who have a knack for writing and storytelling, and I help them create books that we can use in the classroom. So in each moment, it's recommended for secondary and post-secondary classrooms, where teachers can dig into all of the themes and the plots and the settings, and they can use those things that their students read as teachable moments. Again, you can find my books and more about me at michellerenee.com. Renee is RHNEA. The second book that I want to talk about is called In Each Moment. When a woman is physically beaten, everybody knows. It's very obvious. But how do we know when she experiences emotional bruises and emotional battery? Which one of your friends right now suffers from emotional lashing of a scorpion's tongue? Although the wounds may not appear visible with the naked eye, they still have a real physical effect on that person. And guess what? With the mindset that it used to be where women were the ones who were being abused, but now with the mindset and the upbringing of a lot of our urban young women, young men are being physically and emotionally traumatized by the lash of a female with the scorpion tongue. So one who beats this book tells the story of a survivor, one who beat the odds before her abuser broke her. The main character in this book, The Enemy Within, is a strong woman. And although seasoned by time and worn by life, she is a warrior and endured many wounds on the battlefield of life. This story picks up where a lot of stories stop. Simka, who is the main character, she entrusts her young granddaughter, Zahara, with her hard, with her hand written journals, her truths, hoping that Zahara may learn from her mistakes, because she sees Zahara going down the same path with the young man that she is dating. So she's trying to, cut that off before her granddaughter, Zahara, experiences the same thing and takes a painful walk down the same road that she takes. So these journals that she shares with her granddaughter, they are ethnographic chronicles of her abusive marriage and the things that she suffered and how she overcame, and how her husband was able to reflect and change also. So after reading her journals, Zahara sees her grandmother and the world around her from a refreshed and informed perspective, and in a brand new light lived truths that she can learn from. Again, you can find my books, those two and others, on my website, michellerenee.com. And Michelle, Michelle, Renee, RHNEA.com. There are two L's in Michelle. So those are the books that I'm featuring and highlighting today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my camera working on my laptop, so I can't share the book trailers that I had prepared to share because the phone is limited. But again, you can find that information on my website, michellerenee.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Michelle Renee. So I'm now going to go on to the next author speaker. So it's Peter Okonkwo. I'm gonna say he's quite like a regular on the Black Book Show virtual book tour. For those who don't know, the Black Book Show is recorded. It goes on to it's streamed on the Auntie Jean's African Culture Market Facebook. It normally gets put on the Black Book Show Facebook as well, and it's also put onto YouTube. The YouTube channel it goes on is Pete English Literature, which is the person who I'm now going to introduce. He's also author as well, and he's just released his latest book. So without any further ado, Peter, I'm going to let you explain further what you do. So Peter Okonkwo, please tell us where you're joining us from, briefly introduce yourself, and then, go on to tell us all about your new release.
You're muted. Unmute.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Marcone, for
Okay.
the
Is that you
opportunity
your
to...
name change? You didn't change your name.
My name is Peter Okonkwo. I don't know how to change my name currently because I'm using my phone and it might be a bit
I'll do
hard.
it. I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Peter Okonkwo. I'm joining from Nigeria, and I'm a poet and the author of 6 poetry collections in the name of Ecstasy of the Dead. I don't know where it is currently. Then there's my second book, Fate in the Dungeon of Doom. I have my third one, Usport Case Better Impediment. And I have the one that I'll be talking about particularly today, which is the Escape from the Unseen Dungeons book series. There's a first one, A Cry for Mercy. And I have this, How the Demon Slave, and the most recently released one, I Saw the Light.
If you could show your books a little bit slower.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is the first one, A Cry for Mercy. Then there's a first series in the book. Then we have the second series, How the Demons Leave. Then we have the third series here, which is the one that is recently released, I Saw the Light. Yeah, thank you. Basically what the book is about, I love writing the themes of spirituality and philosophy, and I love to think of myself as a philosopher, as well as a poet. And this is what brought about the making of A Cry for Mercy, which is more like a book of plea and lamentation, because I love to touch on the difficult life issues of life, and things that bring about pain, things the issues of life. Actually, this seems to be the sort of themes that I love mentioning on. And this actually, I've got quite a lot of reaction and reviews from different people from different parts of the world. I'm quite intrigued by it. That your writing can resonate with people from all around the world. And now the second series follows throughout the Demon Slave, which is a follow-up to the actual book, A Cry for Mercy. Like I said, this is more like a book of plea and lamentation. And in here, the narrator starts the poetry journey by expressing its pain, its agony, the difficult things of life. Then from here, and again, I would love to mention the fact that in the book, there are some themes of spirituality mentioned there, such as the reality that the spirit controls the physical, the reality of the component of the human body, which is the soul, the spirit, and the body, etc. Quite a lot of things in there. Then this is the third one, which was released January, this year, 2nd of January. I'm quite excited about it. This is the third series. It's more like a spiritual journey, actually, from the plea and bondage in A Cry for Mercy to the realization of the truthiness of spirituality to the demons living here, and to the eventual freedom of a captured narrator in I Saw the Light. Because narrator eventually saw the light and he gained his freedom from the invisible shackles that tied him down. And I would love to mention the fact that, this actually can be read by people from different beliefs, religion, because I am not trying to preach any sort of religion in it. I'm just trying to explain the reality of spirituality as we human beings. And spirituality is actually a theme that is irrespective, not respect of anybody's religion. No, we have spirituality pertains to everybody, irrespective of your religion. It have been a Christian or a Muslim, or whatever religion you seek to practice, like traditionalists, etc. Yeah, I tend to bring this team together. I don't know how many more minutes I have to talk, so just so I can know when to stop. Yeah, but then this is I Saw the Light, which was recently released, and yeah, if I have some more minutes to talk, I'd love to talk about this, Fate in the Dungeon of Doom. So if I'm taking much of the time, please let me know. So in Fate in the Dungeon of Doom, this is my second published book. It was published 2021. That's 3 years ago. And it's more like, like I said, I love talking about hard issues of life. So here we have a terrible narrator who has been through quite a lot of difficult things. And like I said, more like a philosopher. I love writing the themes of philosophy. So here you can, it's been about 3 sessions. We have the first part, which is totally centered on the themes of fate. And we have the second part of the book, which is centered on the theme of immigration, illegal immigration actually, because it's a story of Kohame, which is a young man gone missing, and the aftermath of his missing and his family members. Talk about the mother, Vanessa, talk about the brother, Etienne, and the father, and the extended family. And the third part follows through all the poems related to different themes and subjects. Yeah, so in here, I talk about human fate. I love asking questions in poetry. And in here, I was trying to get to know if we human have power over our own fate, if we can control our own fate, if we are able to determine what becomes the outcome of our future to come. And I know that, we all plan and do things, but then who is in charge of one's fate? Who determines the man's fate? All of these are questions that I ask in the book from the perspective of a narrator who is curious, a narrator who is dejected and hopeless, a narrator who is seeking for answers to his own life, to his own fate, and the fate of others. So many themes are in here, and it's very, very sad. Then the second poem, like I said, it's a story of Kohame, which is a Nigerian man gone missing, and I'm looking forward to producing another book. That's a continuation of the story of Kohame. Yeah, and again, I'd like to mention that all these books actually self-published. So my plan for Kohame Come Home is to submit it traditionally. I've been exploring the route of self-publishing. I wanted to try, delving into traditional publishing a bit. Yeah, so that would be for Kohame Come Home, because it's actually a blend of both real life story and fiction. Because in here we have Vanessa, who is a dejected mother who lost her son, Kohame, and Kohame has gone missing for like 8 years. And, all this period, Vanessa seek the opinion of, the gods of Africa, to cover the likes of Shango, Ogun, Osoyin, Obatala, all those likes, even though she's a Christian. So the agony of the disappearance of our daughter, Kohame, caused her to seek for other means to get to know his whereabouts. So as a Christian, her faith is tempted. She has to start seeking the gods of Africa, going to the shrine, performing sacrifices, having to sleep naked with candles on, so many things she did. Buying this, performing so many sacrifices actually, all in the name of having her son come back. And hilariously, the agony kept improving over and over again. But then there's a twist, which in here, the story is not completed, and I'm currently working on the completed version of the story, if Kwame will ever be found, and what's led to the story of Kwame. So, yeah, I don't know how many more minutes I have to talk, because I can go on and on and on. I like talking too much. If you want to stop me, I don't know if you've been trying to stop me and I don't hear. So I think I will pause a while to hear back from you. Can I go on? How many minutes do I have left?
Yeah, you got time, Peter. You've got about another
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Oh, interesting. Lovely.
Cool.
Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, so in the story of Kwame has been through quite a lot of things, and it's written from the perception of two characters. One of it is Etienne, which happens to be the younger brother of Kwame, and Vanessa, which is the mother of Kwame. Vanessa should be around, say, 55 years old. Etienne should be in his 20s, and Kwame, who has gone missing, should be in his 30s. And following on from his disappearance, it leads to quite a lot of heartache, quite a lot of emotional downturn, as you can even see from the point of view of Nara. Because, like I said, it's written in the point of view of two characters, both of them that are telling the story. It's actually a poetry, but this is like a poetry in form of storytelling. So you're reading poem, but what you're reading actually it's story. Because each poem is a story, it's a conversation of each characters as they keep, narrating their mystery, trying to say one or two things that happened to Kwame and everything. So in here you see Vanessa speaking from her own point of view, and Etienne also lamenting from his own point of view. All of them is trying to pray for the eventual return of Etienne, trying to ask questions about his disappearance, etc. Yeah, so that's what led to the making of Fate in the Dungeon of Doom. And yeah, it's an amazing one. I look forward to exploring more titles in upcoming. Yeah, so thank you, Aconu, and thanks for the introduction. This is quite lovely. And I appreciate the fact of you inviting me on to talk about my writing. And I hope you can still see me, because my light just went off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can,
can.
Africa, eh? Now someone wants you to actually my godfather, George Davis. Hello. He wants you to read a poem. If you could read a poem, please, from one of your books.
That would be great. Which of the books would you like me to read a poem from?
Whatever book you're most comfortable with reading a poem from, I'll let you decide.
Okay. Let me read from the story of Kwame, since I've been talking about Kwame all day. Let me read from the lamentation of Vanessa. Like I said, Vanessa is a mother whose son has gone missing, and she has been trying to look for whereabouts. So this is titled Kwame Come Home, the anguish of a depressed mother. How is it that you have disappeared, Kwame, and traces of you are so hard to find? How is it that you have left me to search for you indefinitely? How do I cope when you know that you are my first strength? Knowing the severity of motherhood, how do I survive not knowing your whereabouts? My blood pressure is rising on a daily basis. I hope I will not die before you return. For many years, I have been searching for you. I even made friends with my foes in search of you. Most times, I can't sleep from shedding streams of tears. I cried so much that I got fed up of crying again. Where are you? Kwame, where are you? I squalled for you everywhere. I asked your friends, your colleague, and neighbor. They said they do not know your whereabouts, but I shall soon hear from you. They advised me to hold my peace, which I cannot hold. With the pang of motherhood, I lost my faith. I inquired about your whereabouts from Ogun, Osonyi, and Shango. They said that you are fine, but a spell was cast on you. They said the crownship was fierce, but your creator will overcome it. My neighbors have scolded me with respect to your disappearance. They said, where is the child I used to boast of? From the trouble it cost me, I knew that my friends were my greatest foe. What joy will I express when you finally come home? I asked of your whereabouts from both false and real prophet. I was scammed countless times, but I never mind. I slept under the canopy of sacrifice and deceitfulness, for I was desperate to have my lovely son back. May your creator observe my pain and safely bring you home. I thought a mother should have effective power over a child. Did you not suck my breast and order my vagina passed out? You lived in my womb for months and rested on my back for years. If I command your coming home, should it not be so? It is as if I am incompetent and your disappearance makes me weak. May this plaintive poem bring you back, because I am full of sorrow. Whenever I walk on the street, your anxiety fills my restless soul. Anytime I see a tall, bearded, handsome young man, I would imagine that it is you. When I hear someone speak, I would say, it resembles Kwame's voice. All that I can think of is you and you alone. Oftentimes, I subconsciously burst into tears in the open area. Come quickly, my child, so that I won't go mad. No one joins me in search of you. Little do I know that no one actually loves you except your creator. I will give you all that you want from me, if only you can come home. Come and restore my stolen joy. Come and ease my troubled soul. Come and hate my restless heart. Come and restore my stolen peace. Kuhame, come home. And if you have mothers here, I'm not saying mothers are going to be such, but if you have mothers here who can put themselves in the shoes of, imagine that, I lose my child and I don't know where my child is. Not as if he's dead, but the child is just gone. You don't know where he is, and you just put into this emotion, the trouble that comes along with a missing son. So this from Vanessa's point of view, and along the line we have Ethan to telling his own story. All in all, it goes. So thank you for allowing me to recite.
Okay, thank you very much. That's
Yeah.
Peter Aconu. Just remember one more just tell the audience again one more time, particularly for those listening on Facebook, Black Culture Radio, and watch later on your YouTube channel of where your book is available to be purchased from.
Yeah, my books are available in Amazon everywhere. Amazon US, Amazon UK, India, wherever you live in. If you type my name, Peter Aconu, Peter, then OKONKWO on Amazon, all of my books title will come up. You can also Google me. I'm available on Google. Yeah, I'm available on Google. From Google, it's very easy. You can just click on the link and it'll take you to where you can get all of my books from. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. And I must say it was a pleasure as well spending time with you during my stay in Nigeria. When we attended the Ake Arts and Books Festival together, and I got to meet you in person. And we spent the week together, so it was a pleasure attending that event. Hopefully, maybe next year, maybe possibly same trip. But hopefully we could take some more authors with us, some from the UK. So Peter Aconu, they're from Nigeria. I'm just gonna basically do a screen share before I go on to the next author, and I'm just sharing my screen now. Just to remind people, the best place to stay up to date with things regarding the Black Book Show is the Black Book Show Facebook group. If you haven't already joined, if you're not already a member, please join the Black Book Show Facebook group. You'll find us by just putting the Black Books Show in. We currently have 1,600 members. Help us to get to 2,000 members. That is our immediate target. You'll know you're in the right place when you see this logo, the Black Book Show. Yeah, and in terms of, latest information regarding shows, whether it's the virtual book tour, whether it's the radio show, details about authors that are featured on the Black Book Show, your best place to log into to stay up to date is the Black Book Show's Facebook group. You can also find out more information on the Black Book Show's website. Blackbookshows.com is the website where we have previous virtual book tours. We're going up to now December. January has happened, but it's just not been uploaded yet. But from December 2023, and I believe it goes all the way back until July 2022. Now, there have been, as I mentioned at the start, the Black Book Show has been going for almost 4 years. But in terms of the website, it goes back as far as July 2022 in terms of the virtual book tour videos. But, if you want to catch up on previous virtual book tours, go on blackbookshows.com. And it will actually link you to Pete English Literature YouTube channel. So you just heard Peter from Pete English Literature YouTube channel. This is his YouTube channel, which has got almost 10,000 subscribers now. And yeah, every month we put the videos of the Black Book Show, what I give to Peter to upload on his YouTube channel. So you can see, if I scroll down, the last one, January virtual book tour. So in case you missed the January virtual book tour and you want to watch it back, you can watch it on Pete English Literature YouTube channel. It had 1,400 views. And yeah, other videos as well. There's other interviews that he's done with authors, including a recent interview that he did with myself. I say recent, I think it was a couple of months ago now, it was a few months ago, where I talk about my latest book, Experiences of Living Across Africa. In fact, I'm actually going to put the link to that interview. Obviously, don't watch it now, but after the show, you can watch the interview where Peter interviews me about my experience of living across Africa, and my book. So I'll put that link also in the Zoom chat. But going back to the website now, other things which are good about the Black Book Show's website, you can also check out podcasts of previous authors that have been interviewed. This is the Black Book Show virtual book tour, but we also have the Black Book Show radio show and podcast. So the podcast will basically enable you to to listen to previous people that have been interviewed there. The podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. But this link will take you to Spotify, where you can listen to previous episodes that have been uploaded of authors that have spoken on the Black Book Show podcast, that have spoken a bit more in depth about the different books that they've written. If you would like to contact me about possibly featuring on the Black Book Show, the best place to contact me, if you go and email me, I'll put this in the chat, info@blackbookshows.com. That's info@blackbookshows.com. Alternatively, if you go on the website, blackbookshows.com, you put your name, email address, and message. If you're an author interested in featuring in one of the shows in the future, obviously you would leave a message regarding that. If you want to sponsor the Black Book Show, if you'd just like to leave feedback, if you'd like to make a donation, whatever it is, if you'd like to contact the Black Book Shows, it'll go to me. Please submit the contact us form, and then I will get back to you as soon as I can. We also have the Black Books, the radio show, the Black Books radio show. Our next radio show is actually tomorrow on Luton Urban Radio, every other Monday on Luton Urban Radio, England time between 8 and 10 p.m. Obviously, it will vary depending on your time zone on Luton Urban Radio, and then Galaxy Radio every other Saturday. So check out the website, theblackbookshows.com, as well, for information regarding the Black Book Show. So I'm now going to introduce the next author.
Before you just introduce the next author, I just want to welcome those people who've just joined us by Black Culture Radio. Sorry to interrupt. So welcome to those who just joined us by Black Culture Radio, and also welcome to those who just joined us by the DAB in Ireland, and also welcome to those who just joined us by the Old Facebook. You're tuned to the Auntie Jean Zone in conjunction with Macon and Sankofa's Black Book Show. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Auntie Jean. So our next author is Princess Monique, who is actually a Hollywood movie director. I think it's the first Hollywood movie director we've had on the Black Book Show, but we do have people, you know, from a variety of different backgrounds. So Princess Monique has written a book about her journey and her experience. So Princess Monique, I would like to invite you onto the Black Book Show for the first time. Please unmute yourself, tell us where you're based, give us a brief introduction about yourself, and, you know, tell us all about the book that you've written, please.
Yes. Well, one, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I just feel like this is I was excited to do this. Now I'm extra excited to do it, to see all these wonderful, beautiful Black faces and all this great excellence to be among it is just making my heart just skip a beat right now. But as he said, my name is Princess Monique, and I am in Hollywood, California. And I always start off by saying that Princess is my real name. It's not my Hollywood name. It's my Cleveland name. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been in Los Angeles / Hollywood for 20 plus years. And I tell you, first, my book is called Hood to Hollywood: How to Stop Waiting to Be Discovered and Discover Yourself. And you can purchase it on Amazon. And as you know, they just said that it was so many other places where you can find me once, it would be so clickable in a minute. But I'm on all the social medias. Is Princess Films with a Z, Princess FILMZ. And I'm a very tangible person. So if you want to contact me, I look at my own DMs and things like that. And one of the prayers I had was to actually, as a little alarm goes off, to actually connect with more people around the world. As I travel the world a lot, I feel like I don't have, you know, friends there. So please become friends with me so that I can come and see you as I do my TV and film directing. So again, Hood to Hollywood: How to Stop Waiting to Be Discovered and Discover Yourself was written in one of the darkest times, or I thought it was one of the darkest times of my life. I had to have a spinal cord surgery. I would say, they say, I don't claim this, but there's a very rare condition called syringomyelia that actually goes into your spinal cord and breaks down your spinal cord and can paralyze you. And I had a serious surgery, one that I woke up, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do all the things I could do before I went, you know, under the knife. And I had 22 stitches in my back. And I said, okay, how can I turn this lemon into lemonade? Like, how can I make this time, you know, be something I reflect back on as not such a traumatic experience? And so I'm like, well, you always said you wanted to write a book. And as he said, I'm a TV and film director, and we have a guild called the Directors Guild of America here, and we have 19,000 members. Of that 19,000, 300 of us are Black people. And of the 300, there's probably about 100 and so maybe 150 that actually work. And most of them are men. And then there's a very small group of Black women that actually, you know, are working and just really killing the game. I have a lot of if you name one, I know them. But I really felt like when I would go to a bookstore, I could never find a book with a photo of a person that looks like me. So I put myself on the actual cover of the book because I wanted a little Black girl to be able to walk into that bookstore and say, hey, that looks like me. And I need to learn about the film and television industry so I can read, you know, this book. I also started writing this book because I used to teach acting classes, and I would like tell my students, read this book, read that book, read that book. And I'm like, I'm making somebody a whole bunch of money. why don't I put all of these great things that I've learned from these books inside my own book through my own lens and tell my story? So as I said, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I started out my journey as a model. My mother was a model, and I thought that, you know, my next step would be to be an actor. So I decided to go, I said, I went to New York and I went to LA to visit. I'm like, one of these two places I'm going to move because this is where actors go. And I decided on LA because of the weather. It was much warmer here than New York in the winter, and I was tired of the cold from Cleveland. So I packed up all my stuff and moved to LA. And I tell you, I'm sure all of you have had these experiences where when you try to do something big like that, everything goes crazy. Like I had to pay out a lot of money. So I actually came to LA. I had one of those stories that I drove in my car with $300 in my pocket. And that was enough to get me here with gas money. And I said, I'll figure out the rest when I got here. So I came here with no money. And I started pursuing acting. I eventually got into an acting class. And my acting coach was a film and television director as well as an acting coach. And I became her assistant. And from there, I started following her around to different shows, you know, and she said, I think you should, you know, try to direct something. And I was like, my mother and my friends are not going to be able to understand, you know, the directing. They want to see me on the screen, not behind the scenes. But I said, I'll give it a shot. Because at that time, I was praying really, really hard. Like, God, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing here? What's, you know, asking all those questions you ask, especially in your early 20s. And I said, I'll give it a shot. So my first film was called The Call, and it won 13 awards in film festivals. And I said, I think there's something here. So I started pursuing my career as a director. At that time, there was like, TV was like small potatoes at that time. It was all about the feature film and the, you know, the big blockbuster movie. And I tried to do everything and then some, or direct everything and then some, trying to get that blockbuster movie. I did short films, music videos, commercials, PSAs, you name it, I would direct it. And I finally got an opportunity to do a movie. It was for Lifetime called Seasons of Love. And I did this movie thinking, okay, I've made it. You know, I've discovered what I want to do, and this is it. And I'm going to just be off to the races. Crickets, nothing. Made this movie, it aired on TV and in the theaters. And so after nothing happened, I started realizing I keep waiting for somebody to discover me. I keep looking for someone to help me. And then I went on this journey of self-discovery. So in my book, you'll actually, I mean, I have 15 chapters in here, and I go on this discovery from my name all the way to, you know, my back surgery, the loss of my grandmother, how I learned about the film and television industry because I went to school. I mean, I have, you know, just some of the people that helped me, some of the things that were really important to me. You know, at that time when I was writing this book, it was during the, you know, the murder of George Floyd. And so I put things in here about racism and about the Black experience and things I wanted no one to ever forget and how I was feeling at that time. But as I laid in that bed and I wrote this book, I said, you know, this book is no longer just for like film and television people. This book is for everybody because it's my journey, but it's really about what I did to discover my purpose. And my purpose is to use my God-given gifts and talents to educate the world and leave a positive, impacting, inspiring legacy for others to do the same for other people. So I will tell you, my book is a book, not like I said, this is for the young person, for the older person, for everybody, in the sense of if you're like what am I supposed to be doing with my life? Like, how do I mean, and it doesn't matter what age you are. Sometimes we still don't know our purpose, but I take you on a journey through the book to actually get to a place where you will know your journey at the end. I promise. Or email me and I'll help you. No. But I also don't know how much more time that I have. I've been kind of talking and trying to time this as well. But I would also like to say that
You have 7
after,
minutes.
oh, great. Hey, I love you guys. Uh, but I also like to say after I did that feature film and I thought, you know, this was going to open my career, it didn't. But there was this explosion happening in TV where, you know, it was so many more shows and so much more opportunities. So I said, okay, I'll put the film, you know, dream on hold and pursue television because they're very different. And I mean, there's similarities, but different. And I got into this program in ABC Disney directing program. And here is another situation. They picked 15 people, and I'm the only African-American female in the program. And I said to myself, okay, I can get mad about it, or I can do something about it. Because I'm this little number in the Directors Guild. You have to be in the Directors Guild in order to direct television. So I said to myself, I'm going to be the first one to get my first episode. I'm going to get the most episodes. I'm going to do the best job I possibly can do. So I bust open the door so that more people can come through that look like me. And that's exactly what happened. So I've been working as a television director for quite some time now. I don't know if you watch American shows but I'll tell you a few. I did Greenleaf, Blackish, Run the World, First Wives Club, BMF. I have an episode of Black Mafia Family on Stars that comes out either at the end of March or the top of April. It's the 4th episode. Just depends on when they start showing the show. And I have been, believe it or not, doing all these shows, just trying to run back to film. And now I'm currently working on my first feature film that I wrote. I'll produce it, I'll direct it. If you see an orange haired girl walk through the screen, just because I just want to be in it, I want to pull an Alfred Hitchcock moment. So I will, I've been working on that. And I'm so excited for what's ahead next. But, you know, I just want to just keep going back to my book about me sharing how I keep getting over these seemingly obstacles, seemingly a tough thing. But as I get through them and get over them, I realize that's a part of the self-discovery. I almost feel like I need to write another book since the last chapter till now, because I have had so much more journey and so much self-discovery and so much more self-confidence and knowing my self-worth and really trying my best to not let this be all about me, but to also empower other African-American female directors. And I have a nonprofit organization called Real Black Unicorns. And you can look up Real Black Unicorns or princessfilms.com. And you can see some of the stuff that I'm doing, because I don't believe it's just about me. I believe it's about all of us coming together and helping each other and building each other up, because this is the only way that it's going to happen. Look, the other people are doing it for the other people. We have to do it for ourselves. And I love this platform, and I'm so happy that I get to see all these beautiful faces and hear all these wonderful stories. And I will definitely be on the Facebook page so that I can, you know, purchase some books, connect with you all. And I love that I can even go further with this. I can be interviewed. I like that as well. But how many more minutes do I have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. You know what? I think I can talk a long time until they give me 15 minutes, but okay, let's see what else. I share a lot of secrets in this book too. I became super duper vulnerable. And when I talk about, you know, the Me Too movement, about my experience with that, I talk about, I have a chapter that says, strippers need love too. So you have to look in the book to see what that one's about. What else is in here? That's great. Oh, I talk about I didn't know my own strength. When my greatest fear came true, which was my grandmother passing away. And my grandmother was I was like, my voice is trembling. I always get choked up because she was the foundation of who I am and why I am who I am and why I continue to, you know, be strong and move forward because I know I'm a product of her prayers. And I talk about that experience and how I got through. To me, still, it's like everything else in life to me is easy, and to a certain extent, because that was the hardest thing to get through, as well as was my biggest fear in life. So I know we all probably have those stories with those people whose backs we stand on. And I share mine and my deep love with my grandmother. We were connected in a way that I could look at her and or she'll say something, no one knows what she's talking about, and I could just translate it really quickly because I knew her that well. Um, I don't know what else I could say besides I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for this opportunity. I'm thankful for all of you that I will be connecting with, and that I hope to have stories that I'm like, yeah, I was at your house. I love those stories. Or we were just hanging out. I would love to have those happen as well. And like I said, please connect. I say that a lot when I'm talking is please connect. And I may have, you know, we have 53 people here, and then we have so many people who are watching as well. And I may get one or two people who really connect. This is no coincidence. This is all happening because it's supposed to happen. There's somebody here that is supposed to help you on the next book or the next part of your journey or the next trip that you'll take around the world. You know, so please connect with each other, connect with me. And again, I'm very grateful and thankful for this time. It has made my Sunday very bright.
Thank you so much, Princess.
Okay, can you just remind everyone as well where they can get your book from?
Amazon, I just got listed on Barnes & Noble as well, but you can go to my website, which is Princess Films, FILMZ.com. There's a link there. And then I'm on all the social media platforms as Princess Films, and I got a link tree, so you can always just click, or you can just Google it, Hood to Hollywood.
Hood to Hollywood. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
a pleasure
much.
having you on the Black Book Show virtual book tour.
First
And
of many.
yes, and then maybe you would come onto the radio show and podcast as well. So
I would love.
it's been great having you. So I'm now going to introduce the next author. So the next author is Aisha Lawrence. Aisha, if you please come on, just start off by telling us where you're based, very briefly introduce yourself, and then tell us all about the book you've written, please.
Muted, sis. Aisha, you're muted.
Sorry, guys. Greetings all. Thank you, Makonnen and Auntie Jean, for this opportunity to showcase the book. I'm so excited. And with that, I'll just get into it. So I'm gonna share my screen. But before I share the screen, let me just say, a bit like what Princess said, this platform is an amazing platform, and I have been really inspired by all the authors and the work that they're doing. So you guys just big up yourselves and continue to do the great work that you guys are all doing. So, okay. Okay, so introduction. So my name is Aisha Lawrence. I am an author. I've got two beautiful daughters. I have a health and wellness business called Simply Seymour, so you guys can check that out. Trying to go down to the next page. So the book, I'm going to, while there. Okay, so, so my book is titled In Search of Self, The Diary of an Adoptee. And a bit like, I resonated with a lot of what Princess was saying in regard to the journey of discovery. So self-discovery. So a brief background, like a little bit of background history. So initially, the book started off as me journaling. I didn't really have an intention to write a book until late adolescence. So initially it did start off as me journaling and just putting things into perspective about my life, and generally it was something that I found quite therapeutic. Just putting my thoughts down on paper and trying to make sense of things that was happening or had happened is where it all started. And I just want to shout out to Nathaniel, who actually creates journals. His business is called Journal My Journey, and he creates a range of journals for people. So yeah, that was where it initially all started from. Okay, so let me go down. So the book is called In Search of Self, The Diary of an Adoptee. So I'm going a bit too fast here. Let me slow down a bit. So the book is called In Search of Self, The Diary of an Adoptee. It can be found on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, and a range of other platforms. I actually published in May last year. And the writing process, I don't think the writing process was an easy one. Initially, I started this 8 years ago. Actually, yeah, this year would be 9 years, but like I mentioned before, I published in May as of last year. And even when Princess spoke about that vulnerability that comes with the book, I kind of felt that because prior to that, like I said, I have a health and wellness business, and that's just product based, right? So when I do my pop-up events, I'd have the book on the table, and people be like, "Oh, is that book about you?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." No, at first I'd be like all timid. I was a bit timid and a bit, you know, wasn't really owning it. I would be like, yeah, it is. And like afterwards, God was like, listen, remember that I kind of given you the authority to overcome certain things that you've been through. And just remember to just be bold about it. Don't be kind of shy or ashamed of it. So with that, I now have it on the table and I proudly say, yeah, that's about me. So like I said, it can be purchased on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, and a range of other platforms. So it is going down. So about the book. So it is In Search of Self is a narrative of a young woman searching for identity and belonging. A sense of abandonment leaves her asking the big question, who am I? She recounts her life from birth, where she was left in the care system and had to adapt to the stigma of being abandoned. She discusses the issues and challenges faced growing up in an urban society from childhood to adulthood. Despite her struggles, she tries to remain strong and speaks of the beauty of her life, family, friends, and God who have kept her going. And throughout the book, you can find that it covers such issues on mental health, identity, relationships, behavior, and like a range of other social issues. Other work that I am currently, that I do. So In Search of Self is the book that I've just spoken about. I also have a 21-day CMOS challenge ebook that links in with my health and wellness business. And I'm currently also working on a new project, which I can't really speak too much of right now. But if you follow me on any of these social platforms, you'll be able to learn more about the new project in due time. Also, I just want to shout out Aconu for his How to Sell and Market Your Book. The book that he's published, one of the books that he's published, this really helped me on my journey and helping me still. So if you haven't got a copy, as an author, make sure, even if your book is published, like just support him, get the book, because it is a game changer.
And I didn't pay her to say that, by the way.
So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening. I can put the link for the book in the chat as well. And also, I really love the work that Michelle Renee is doing. I love the fact that she's taken, she gets real life stories and incorporates them into her work. And shout out to Princess as well. Maybe we can, Michelle and Princess, maybe we can collaborate and do a little thing together. I followed you guys, so yeah, it was lovely to be able to share.
That would be brilliant if you can all collaborate together. That'd be absolutely brilliant. So I'm sure if you can exchange numbers or details with each other, then you can do that. And
that'd be great.
Don't forget to let people know where they can get your book. Just a reminder.
Yeah, so you can get the book on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Hold on. So I will put the link, like I said before, in the chat, but you can search it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, eBay, sort of range of other different platforms. But we all use Amazon. Everybody uses Amazon, so you can get it there. I will put the link in the chat as well. Actually, I'll do that now. But thank you all for listening.
You're welcome. Ross McConnell.
I was on mute, so thank you very much.
So you're doing the mute thing too.
Yes, thank you very much, Aisha Lawrence. What I'm actually going to do now, I'm just going to share my screen quickly, because you did mention it, so you did prompt me. So I'm just going to mention my book as How to Market and Sell Your Book, a guide for beginners. As Aisha mentioned, it's helped her a lot on her journey so far. And I know it's helped many other authors as well. So you can get the book. It's available on Amazon, where all my other books titles are available, including Life in Gambia, The Smiling Coast of Africa, Experiences of Living Across Africa, How to Market and Sell Your Book, a guide for beginners, The Rise of Rastafari, Resistance, Redemption, and Repatriation. They're all fantastic books. Sometimes with doing a lot between hosting, getting everything ready for these events, the Black Book Show virtual book tour, also being a radio show host, podcaster, the courses, there's a lot of planning that goes putting on these virtual book tours. It's not just, it takes the whole month, even longer than that, for me to plan each single, event. So there's a lot of time and preparation that goes onto it. So I don't always get the opportunity, because you can imagine I'm exhausted with dealing with so many different things. I'm a host, I'm a technician, I'm a marketer. You know, I'm so many other things that I have to do. But how to market and sell your book, a guide for beginners. If you are author or aspiring author about to release a book, this is a brilliant book for you because it will show you different strategies and techniques that you can use to become a best-selling author. 3 of my books are currently best-selling books. I think the book I've had the most success for, no doubt, is The Rise of Rastafari, Resistance, Redemption, Repatriation, which goes all through the history of the Rastafari movement, tackles the misconceptions. But if you want to know, you know, about Rastafari and about, you know, a lot of to do with history and culture, whether that's in the Caribbean, England, Ethiopia, you know, different parts of Africa, it's a really interesting book. There's a lot of topics that are covered in there. Although the main theme of the book is on Rastafari, but it's essentially it's a Black history book if you actually read it, in the topics and the theme in it. It's got 95 reviews. Sorry, 95 star reviews on Amazon, 4.8 star. Now to get 95 reviews on Amazon, have a 4.8 star book, it tells you just how much of a good book it is. Yeah, so that's the Rise of Rastafari. But I wanted to talk more about this book, How to Market and Sell Your Book, about guide for beginners. So the book, if you are an author, aspiring author, it can help you no matter where you are on your journey. If you're a more experienced author, and you're already, you know, you're already doing quite well and you want to do even better, you know, you can benefit for it. But the main target market is, you know, authors, for example, who really are struggling, or they need, you know, more support in terms of sales, and then maybe not too happy, or they want to get more sales of their books, or know different strategies how to market their books. So have you written a book but would like to increase your book sales? Are you about to release a book and need some guidance on how to market it? Do you want to know proven methods and techniques that you can use to help market and sell your book? Have you tried to market and sell your book but unhappy with the results you're getting? If your answer is yes to any of those questions above, this book is an essential read for you because it contains valuable information that will help you become successful with marketing and selling your book. The target market of this book is new authors, aspiring authors, and authors in general who need help with marketing and selling their books. The book includes topics such as techniques on closing book sales from conversations, how to use social media to promote your book, how to turn your book into a business, and becoming an international author as opposed to becoming a local or national author. If you're about to release a book, you will also find this book beneficial as it highlights how to make money before you've released your book, how to have a successful book launch, and the pros and cons of having your book self-published versus traditionally published. Now, I initially wrote this book to complement. I do book courses as well. I do courses on how to publish and how to market and sell your book. So initially, it was to complement the courses that I do. I do various courses on whether it's when marketing and selling book in general, and then I do also specific chapters. Over the last year, I did some courses with Marcia M. Spence Publishing, you know, in which I used the book as a tool, and the book is really is to really complement the courses I do. So also, if you're interested in getting a course on how to market and sell your book, you can contact me at info@blackbookshows.com. But if not, I mean, you just want to read the book, you can get the book as a standalone, as a solo as well, and it would definitely it has techniques and ways from myself and also others that I know of, and others that who've been successful in selling copies of their book, other bestsellers, and other places where I've taken information from. So it's a really good book that will, yeah, definitely can boost your book sales in different ways. I'm going to put the link to where that book can be purchased in the Zoom chat. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. The title of the book is called How to Market and Sell Your Book, A Guide for Beginners. I'm now going to introduce the next author. The next author is Natalie Thomas. So Natalie, if you would just like to come on, please introduce yourself to the audience by telling us where you're based, a bit of background about yourself, and then, yeah, tell us all about the book you've written, please.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Really pleased to be here, and thank you to Auntie Jean and Aconu for providing this platform. It's an amazing platform, and just listening to, the authors and the stories and the experiences and how you've all come to be at this place at this time is just amazing. I think Princess said earlier, it's not by accident that these things happen, and it's just, yes, it's an amazing place to be this evening to hear from you all. I've particularly got a bit of FOMO listening to I think, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think he's a detective or something. I can't, the first person, Andrew, I think it was, who spoke about his journey.
Investigator.
That's the word, investigator. It's such an inspiring story that he told us, just absolutely amazing. Over Christmas, I did a journey to Kenya with some friends and family, and then we went off to Madagascar. And then earlier on in the year, last year, I went to Ghana. And so at the moment, I don't want to be anywhere else apart from Africa. So yeah, real kind of inspiring to me to get my next holiday sorted out. So yeah, so I'm Natalie. I'm Natalie Thomas, and I'm a new author. I published my book the end of last year, and it's called Your Daily Gratitude Journal. And just like many people today, it's born out of my own life experiences, and really has been a journey for me. Things like today I've ended up here to talk about my book. I never envisaged things like this happening when I put pen to paper. So I'm coming from Caterham in Surrey, and I was listening to, I think it was Aisha and Aconu talk about where they live. I'm a Croydon girl, born and bred, so I was born in Croydon, grew up in Croydon, and moved a bit further out about 5 or 6 years ago now to Caterham, not too far, probably about half an hour from Croydon. And so yeah, it's great to, as I say, be with you guys and to hear some of the places I heard people talking about. They've got sunshine, they've got great weather. At the moment, it's raining. I tend to kind of believe now rain is not a bad thing. Back in the days, I used to think if it was a rainy day, it's a terrible day. It's just a rainy day. So yeah, in rainy Caterham at the moment. My background is working in social regeneration. So I've always had a kind of calling to help people in the development process and be the voice of people who were sometimes coming from really bad living conditions. And trying to be that person who could advocate on behalf of those people. We know that building and development, it's a big business, and sometimes the little person doesn't have much of a say. So that's my background, working in local government, and also recently I've become an author, I've become a coach, public speaker as well. And the first I'm announcing this, and not many people know this, but you all know this now, about to start my own podcast, working with a good friend of mine, which is going to be starting, I believe, at the beginning of next month. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that as well. So the reason why I'm here today is to talk about my book. As I said, it's Your Daily Gratitude Journal. And it begun, I think my journey, I'd say, begun about 5 or 6 years ago, when on the face of it, I was living a pretty normal life, married, 2 children, lived in a great home, had a great job. On the outside, everything looked pretty, like I was set. But for me, something inside just wasn't quite hitting right. Yes, I'm a person of faith and, pray a lot and, have profess to have faith, but something inside of me just wasn't quite right. And as I say, I noticed about sort of 5, 6 years ago that I was becoming quite anxious, just generally in myself. And it didn't take a lot to set me off on that road of anxiousness. And it accumulated to the point of starting to have panic attacks. So there I was in my mid-40s, starting to have all these weird, horrible emotions. And I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack, But if you've never had a panic attack, you don't want to have a panic attack. It's like your world is going to end in that moment. You actually believe that you're going to die, right? And so it's one of the worst feelings in the world. Your life flashes before you. And yes, I went off to the doctors. I tried to work it all out and, you know, get a meaning or a reason for why I was having these experiences. But, you know, all they could really tell me was like, you know, you're suffering from a bit of anxiety. You don't know what could set it off, but, you know, this is the result of it, basically. You're basically stuck with it. There wasn't really a solution that I was given at the time. And I then ended up having a conversation with a good friend of mine who suggested I started to journal. Now, at the time, I wasn't really connecting the two about, you know, how journaling could help me on this process. But the moment I started to journal, put pen to paper, I noticed that there was a difference happening, like a physiological difference happening. And on that point, I'll read a bit from my book, which I think is relevant to what I'm saying at the moment. So a bit about my story, which is in my book. A few years ago, I was introduced to journaling by a close friend who encouraged me to use a journal to write down my thoughts and feelings. She explained that there was no right or wrong way of doing it, only to add that journaling is a form of releasing your thoughts and helping them to take a new form. I was a little apprehensive at first, as I admit I didn't really get it. That was until I began to write. The first thing I noticed was how freely I was able to write my thoughts and feelings down, and how the words just flowed. After all, this wasn't a paper or exam which was going to be read by anyone else and judged for grammatical or spelling errors. Just a personal record of my thoughts, good or bad, joyous or sad. I was instantly surprised how the information flowed from my mind and onto the paper in front of me. Another thing I noticed was a sense of satisfaction that I felt, as though the pent-up thoughts and emotions which I had kept guarded somehow had been released into the atmosphere, no longer captive within me, but free. This may sound strange if you've never journaled before, but there's something truly therapeutic about the physical release you can achieve by freeing your thoughts and emotions from within and making way for a sense of relief and comfort. So why journal your thoughts? Journaling is a way of releasing our thoughts from within ourselves. It also helps us to recognize what we're thinking about and how we are feeling. How you think in your mind will determine how you show up in the world and ultimately the experiences you are likely to have. However, most of us creating a healthy thought life isn't so straightforward, particularly if you've never been taught to do so in the same way that we're taught how to go to the gym to improve our physical bodies. As we become more aware of our thoughts, we can observe the inner dialogue we are having. In one moment, we can have hopeful, positive thoughts, and in the next moment have self-talk, which is negative. The thoughts we choose are important, as these will more than likely manifest into the quality of life we will experience. And yes, we can choose what we think. And so for me, once I began to realize this, it had such a profound effect on me. Now, I know many people journal, but I think this was a real kind of turning point and a point of self-discovery and self-development for me, because I think up until that point, my held me captive rather than me being the master of my thoughts. And then there was this shift that I kind of took to kind of say, all right, if this is what I'm thinking and this is having the effect of me being anxious, having panic attacks, I need to try to reframe some of this and take the power back, take the control back on my journey. So I just read a little bit more. Understanding your thoughts. I believe that part of the reason why our thoughts have gained so much power is that this forms part of the innermost unseen life that we choose when and where to share or expose what's going on. What we choose to share with others is influenced by our life experiences and our trusted relationships. And at times we have learned to hide what we're really thinking. However, just imagine if in this moment you or others could see the thoughts you are having right now displayed on a screen. If this were the case, perhaps we would have begun long ago to master control of what we think and the way we think. However, there is hope. By taking the time through journaling, we can express and acknowledge the thoughts that we're having, which will enable us to judge whether the thought is serving us or not. Through this process, we can think about exactly what we're thinking about. And using journaling as a tool, we can literally begin to change our minds and choose to think differently instead of, and then also making way for being grateful. So part of my gratitude journal is also talking about being grateful. See, I believe that when you've been able to journal, get all your thoughts and feelings and emotions out and put pen to paper, you leave place to really focus on being grateful. And what I try to explain in my book is that it's not just about, you know, what people will say. I hear a lot at the moment in the press about gratitude and, you know, write the things that you're grateful for, and yes, life will be great and all the rest of it. But I really believe that it's more about the emotion that you have, about really being grateful and holding that space of gratitude. It's, you know, it's a higher vibration. And I think one of the only other higher vibrations other than that is just pure love. So being able to vibrate gratitude, I think, is the key here when we talk about being grateful. So as I say, I go into my book to talk about that and about the vibrations of gratitude. You can only attract to you what resonates within you, meaning that if we're feeling whole and content inside, we will attract the same on the outside. So I encourage you to use this journal to turn your negative thoughts into positive ones. For example, if you're always thinking, oh, my life is so hard, then your life is likely to be hard. But you can reframe that. You can take back control and say, my life is actually getting better and better every day. You can take back the power. This will help to shift your thoughts and emotions from having a difficult life to calling in a better, more positive outcome for your life. And it's sometimes the simple things that can give us joy, such as a friendly smile or a feeling of the sun on your skin, and maybe being like with like-minded people on a call that's provided by Auntie Jean and Aconu. They say iron sharpens the iron, and I really do feel like I'm being sharpened today. And then I'll just I'm going to share my screen because I go on to talk a little bit. The rest of my book, after I've done an introduction and told you about my story, is providing space for you to journal as well. And how I've divided up the book is that you, on one side of the page, you'll have your journal. So get all your thoughts and feelings of the day, get them all out. And I find that really helps to get you into a more centered space so that then you can start to think about, okay, what am I grateful for? And have I got access to share? I think I did, but I can't see my screen when I press it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
you still have.
Okay. Because when I look on, there's my items are not there. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that I've opened up my stuff. But as I say, what I'll do is I'll put my the link to my book in the chat. Here we go. Just to give you an example of what the inside of the book looks like once you get to the journal section of the book. Can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so on the one side, you'll have your journal section in the book. After, as I said, you've got your introduction and a bit of more history about journaling. You've got one side of the book is all about getting your thoughts and feelings down, and on the other side is about your being grateful. And each day there's about 6 months worth of entries available in the book, so it's really a chance for you to get into the daily practice of journaling and also focusing on gratitude. as I say, it's helped me tremendously when the doctors couldn't help. And I tell you, I went for brain scans. I went for all kinds of tests. They had me wired up, tubes and bits and bobs going everywhere. They couldn't find the answer. And through my journaling and my self-discovery and my development journey, I found the answer. The answer I found within me and with God's grace. And it's not just journaling. I use meditation now. I exercise. I've always exercised quite a lot. Breath work I find is really good as well, and yoga. All these things and tools at our disposal to help us with our mind and trying to have a healthy thought life. I'll definitely recommend. And you'll be happy to say, no longer do I have panic attacks, which is like, yeah, amazing. Do I still get anxious? Yes. My son was late coming home today. There was a bit of anxiousness creeping in there. I think if I stood here and said I never got anxious again, I think I probably wouldn't be human. And I have moments of overwhelm, but now I have the tools to help me, because as I said earlier, we're taught at school about the gym, we're taught about the food and the nutrition, but everything starts here, and it's all in the mind. And I believe that the pressures of today's life, the busyness of our lives, we hear Aconu, he's doing about 1,000 things in a day. We're all on that kind of treadmill journey. And I know that a lot of the things we're doing are really important, but at the same time, we have to really guard and protect our minds. And that's what I'm an advocate for, to help people. So as I say, you can get my book on amazon.co.uk, but it's available from Amazon around the world. And I've got a QR code there for a person that likes to do QR codes, and I'll put a link to my book also in the chat as well. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I like that you put your contact details out. Can you, just for the sake of radio, if you could just quickly say out loud the contact details and also how to get hold of your book?
Yes, so my book is available on amazon.co.uk, but if you search for my book, Your Daily Gratitude Journal by Natalie Thomas, you can get it on Amazon abroad. So I know that there's many markets that the book's available in. I think it's not been translated yet, but it's all in the English that Amazon operates out of. Yeah, and so I'll also put a link in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalie Thomas. I'm now going to go to the next speaker of the Black Book Show. The next speaker is actually one of the sponsors of the Black Book Show, talking about Nubian Nagis books. Thank you very much, all of the people that sponsor the Black Book Show, but in particular, Nubian Nagis book. And also I'm going to give a shout out to Jimmy Asher Foundation, who have sponsored this virtual book tour for since the beginning, which has been almost 4 years now. So yeah, I really do appreciate the support, and personally from knowing them as well. I remember Sister Leggett, when you used to come with your books when I was part of a Luton Black Men community group, and you used to come all the way from London to Luton to sell books and have your store in the suitcase and sell books at events. And then I went to, obviously I'm quite well known in the community. Also, I've been to events in London and stuff. I used to go around and see you at events. So I've known Sister Leggett for quite some years now. I think going back maybe over a decade or so, maybe about 10 years now, I've known you, Sister Leggett. So I want to ask you anyway to come on and to tell us about what you do in terms of your book selling that you do. Without me going too much into explaining it, I'll allow you to explain it. Just tell us where you're based, what you do. And there was an author that was meant to be speaking today that wasn't present, Daniela Mason. She's going to be speaking at the Black Book Show virtual book tour in April, but she recently had her book launch as well. And I know you're going to be speaking about her book. So what I will do is, I'll let me know when you want me to display the picture, because I know you attended her book launch recently on Thursday it was, and you wanted me to also share that picture of you. So Sister Leggett, first just introduce yourself.
Good
Daniela
evening,
is
everyone.
on the platform, by the way.
Oh, so
I was going to say, Daniela, she is on the platform,
Oh,
by
good
the way.
evening.
Oh yeah, she's
Good
watching.
evening.
She won't be speaking,
She's
but
listening,
she's watching the
yeah.
show.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yes. Oh, good evening, everyone. This is Newbury in the Gist Books. Yes, as my brother Aconu said, it's a couple of years. Well, wow, time really flies. So, as he said, yes, I'm famous for my suitcases, the odd trolley full of books, going to different events. And Luton was just amazing. Every time I went down to the 100 Black Men event. It was always inspiring, and I learned a lot as well going there and meeting some of the authors. One or two have already been to Luton, and now they're authors as well. So that's really, really great. So yes, as Conan said, it's for a number of years I've been selling books and so forth. And it was a beautiful. Last week I got an invitation for a private book launch, and I thought, oh, okay, that's nice. And it was by Daniel Mason, and she had the event down in Brixton, and I thought, right, that's it. No matter what, I'm gonna have to go to this book launch. And then I requested, and then I got my I was allowed to get into the book launch, which was really good. And Daniel's book is absolutely fantastic. I've read quite a bit of it, and it's a small pamphlet. I'll show you here. And the book is called The N Word. And we all, I don't want to assume, but the N is for nigger, which we don't like to use that word whatsoever. But Daniel has done a great research into the connotation of the word and how it is used. And what I like about the book, because I'm coming from a historical background, she's actually gone far back to see where it was first used, how it was used, and what's happened today with the word. So I went on Thursday. So Aconu, you can actually show us the photo of me and Daniel.
Okay, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, and I can just talk as we go along. And it was just beautiful actually seeing her live and in person. And she said that she actually saw me on the Black Book show. So this is just quite an honor that an
So
author
can
has
you see the
actually seen me.
photograph now?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
you
see the
can. You
photo.
can.
Can
Okay.
everyone? Yeah, so that's me and Daniel. And it was beautiful. So it was really nice going there and then, saying to Daniel, yes, I want my copy. Can I have my copy, please? And I introduced myself, and it was just great seeing her live and in person, as the phrase goes. And eventually I'd like to do that with all and each and every one of you, to know you personally. Some of you I've seen already, and I've been on some of your shows. Brother Martinez, he's online, and I went on his show that time when he had it. And yes, as I said, I love meeting new authors. So Daniela is a new author for me, and of course we will have a great relationship with the books. And as she says, I'm just enthusiastic. I just love new books, meeting new authors as well. Thank you, Aconu, for showing the picture as well. Yeah. So as I said, when I'm going to talk a little bit about I've just highlighted just a little bit so I can just read, because she's actually had on the night, it was really, really good. She had Gigi Jacobs, it was a compare. Then she had another young girl, she was an actress as well, and read something that was beautiful. And by she had another gentleman on his call was Burning Poet. He actually read his poem. And then we had another gentleman on board. Can't remember his
Nate,
name
the
now.
lyricist.
I forgot to. Sorry?
Nate, the lyricist.
That's it, Nathan Lewis, yes. And by the way, Auntie Jean was there as well. It was just so lovely seeing Auntie Jean as well, yes. So the event was really good. And we also, I hadn't realized when I was sitting next to Patrick Vernon as well. So that was on us. So it was just a lovely event. Lee Jasper, he couldn't make it. So the room was just full of people. It was really nice. The color scheme was beautiful. And this book, because it's black and white, it was actually great because you can see it and it draws you in and it brings you into that letter M. So what Daniel has actually done, it's a small pamphlet, but you know what? Some people, I always get it when I sell my book. Some people say, so how comes it's only got a few pages and the other one's got more and it's the same price? I said, that's not it. What it is, it's the actual book cover, etc., and the contents of the book. So sometimes it's in this small pamphlet form. It's got 58 pages, but it's small, but it's in depth. It's a good reader, but because I do history, I go into depth into things. And like, as I said, Daniel has also done that. I hadn't complete all the book, which I wanted to do today. But as she's a writer, Daniel says, as a writer, I believe in the acute power of words, the formation of a clutter of letters and the orchestration of band of words is velocity. And I actually underlined in the book, since thoughts determine action, there is a constructive equation between the word we use and the results we affect. So literally using that word is the person is actually giving out that word. And because words have power, the person who receives it, it all depends on how it affects or effects that person. And you know that with this word in our community is not a good word at all. And Danielle, you've done really, really well because she's actually quoted as well what Langston Hughes, one of our prolific writers in the Renaissance, in American Renaissance, he wrote here, a Klansman said, nigger, look me in the face and tell me you believe in the great white race. Absolutely disgusting. Also, I've underlined here in the book, because of the lighting that I've got here, it says, it is a word that is used exclusively in a derogatory sense to denigrate, psychologically subjective, and to mentally smear the individual's identities of Black by white aggressors. You see, so again, it's used for a reason and a purpose. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not a good word. And it was introduced with the sole purpose of psychologically battering an entire people until they were brought into the belief that they were not worthy or not worthy of respectful titles, names, or respect. And this is from Daniel's book. To write a book like that is just absolutely wonderful. And Daniel, I just congratulate you on that because it's a bold move to actually even think about it, to actually put the thought down on paper and actually to deal with that. It's not an easy task, but well done in actually bringing this book to the forefront. Daniel also quotes Willie Lynch, and he wrote a book concerning how to make a person, our ancestors, into a nigger. And I actually read that book, and I only read that book once because it was just so disturbing. So we as Africans, we have to take the step in order to eradicate that word. So what I wrote down here was that I first heard of the N word from the film Roots and the rap music and in the streets, etc. To denigrate the kings and queens of Africa. They used it to break us from the high self-esteem to low self-esteem. And to me, that would be seen as the fall of the dynasties of our people. Because remember, we had empires, etc. We were architects, builders, you name it, that was us. So in order to make us small, try to actually, if they could, make us vanish, they use that word. And this word is unbelievable. As recently as 2013, I was in Cuba and I was sitting in the hotel. I was on my computer and there was a group of people, they came over because there was a carnival, a Caribbean carnival. So I can't remember where they came from. So there was a young man behind me and my friend, and he was talking on the phone. And would you believe it? He said to his friend, "What's up, my nigga?" And that went right through me and my friend. We just sat there and we turned around and we gave him a, sorry, family. Hola, 1 minute. I'll call you back. Yeah, I'll call you back. Sorry, family, that is a call from abroad. And we turned around and we actually gave him a look. Sometimes words, you don't have to use the words, but your action and the look says a lot. And he knew that we weren't pleased with that whatsoever. I also wrote down that, oh yeah, I actually needed to Daniel's book goes from the root of the word, from its history, and to the present day. And I put here that the letter N, I have taken it and I have changed things around. I refuse anybody to call me that. I don't use that in my vocabulary. I only just used it tonight, but that is just a word that is a no-no for me. I actually call myself Nubian Nigis to combat that word. And Nigis means queen, and it comes from the Amharic, the Ethiopian word queen. And the male version of queen is Nigas, which is, it stands for king. And so all I have to say is this. So when they say, "What's up, my N?" I say, no. You can say to me, "What's up, my Nigis?" meaning my queen. Or you can say, "What's up, my Nigas?" meaning my king. And it's more powerful using Nigis and Nigas, using that word rather than using the N word. So this is just one of my first books that I wanted to talk about tonight. And Daniel, get well soon. And honestly, this is just a powerful book, which I want to share to the whole world with your help as well, Daniel. Great.
Sister Legit, you said this one of your first books you want to share tonight. You only got 2.5 minutes left.
It's okay. The other two is going to be quick because I really wanted to spend some time on Daniel's book. However, the other book that I'm reading as well, because of the Bob Marley film, I've got the book here, So Much Things to Say, and that's by his author, Don Taylor, and it goes into more into his personal life and who Bob Marley was. So that's just one. And my other one, Aconu, I actually done another read and read your book. And so when you talked about it tonight, Life in Gambia, the Smiling Coast of Africa, honestly, this is an excellent book and an excellent introduction into Africa. If you've never traveled to Africa, I would highly recommend you to read this particular book. I haven't been to Gambia, I have been to Africa though, but it made me want to book my ticket. And then Aconu, you recommended hotels, the taxi driver who you met, and it was just a progression of your travel from a few weeks to 3 months to 6 months. And now you said tonight you've gone there 5 times, which is fantastic. And I would just recommend that all of you, especially authors, sometimes you get a reader's block. Writer's block. I get a reader's block at times, but author's block. I would suggest that you just take a flight, go home 2 weeks, go to Africa, and just go there, and then you'll get your inspiration, because there you'll get your antennae, your melanin kicks in, and then, you know, wash away all the cold and all the negative thoughts. And yes, it will help you further with your writing. So anyway, as I say, always say on the this show, thank you, Brother Aconu, and thank you, Auntie Jean, as well, for the collaboration in both of you joining up together. And to each and every one of you authors, is just to continue with your great works, because as I always say, one book can really make a difference and change your life. And as the previous author came on and she had her journal, yeah, that's really important, and that can help self-elevate yourselves. Okay, thank you for listening. And
thank you so much, Sister Legit. Thank you.
See you on the next show, hopefully. Auntie Jean, did you enjoy it? It was really great, wasn't it? The launch, the book launch with Daniel.
The launch was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant, and the room was full. It was brilliant. Well done to Daniela.
It's a shame, you know. I really wanted to be there, but unfortunately, I wasn't too well on Thursday. But
okay,
yeah. Otherwise, I would have seen you as I'm back in the country now, Sister Legit and Auntie Jean.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'll be at I'll probably be at the next African Culture Market next month in the physical one.
That will be the 17th. Yeah, Sunday the 17th of March.
Yeah, I'll probably be. Is it going to be in Broccoli?
It will be. Yeah, St Andrews Community Centre.
Yeah, I'll probably will be there. All right.
Okay.
With that being said, I'm going to go on to the next author. The next author is Lashanda Buyers. Before doing that, actually, Auntie Jean, do you want to take a minute or two just to, I don't know if you want to do it now at the end, to talk to mention that the upcoming event you have on the 3rd Sunday of the month for the next one, because I just mentioned it, so I thought you may want to take a minute.
Okay, all right, good, thanks. Let me just to my camera. Yes, the next African Culture Market is going to be on the 17th, Sunday the 17th of March. The time is from 2 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and the nearest train station is Broccoli train station. The next train station is Crofton Park. The buses going there is 171 and 172 and the 122. And your landmark is Sbow petrol station, because the community church is actually set right across the road from Broccoli, Sbow petrol station. And we do have Nate the Lewisist. He's going to be doing, telling us about the stars, because he's an astrologer as well. So he's going to be telling us about the stars that we have up into the sky. And also Nate the Lewisist also runs the Revolutionary Minds to put together a lot of a group of spoken word artists. Stella B and Nat Nye also a part of it. Stella B and Nat Nye also host the Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. You also have the Senkoma drummers who come to the African Culture Market. Plus, there's stalls for people to buy different wares from our own people, and plus there's food there, so you can come and have your Sunday dinner, and as I said, and be entertained and edutained, because we have guest presenters that come and talk about and share the information that they have and the profession that they have with us. So that is Sunday the 17th of March. And there'll be another author there as well with her books. Her name is Pamela Sims. She's going to be there also the 17th. So yes, please do come and join us between 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock, Sunday, the 17th of March. We're there the third Sunday of each month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's the Auntie Jean's African Culture Market, the physical event which takes place on the third Sunday of each month. This is the Black Book Show virtual book tour, which happens on the last Sunday of each month online, and it's a collaboration between me, the founder of the Black Book Show, and Auntie Jean from Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. We basically merged the two brands together. I've been doing the Black Book Show for almost 4 years now. And I think we've been doing the collaboration for about a year and maybe a year and a half or a year, 3 months. I can't. Yeah, it goes by so quick. Maybe a year and a half now. Yeah, I think we've been doing the collaboration for.
It has been. It's gone quickly though.
Yes, very, very quickly, very quickly. And in fact, actually, I released my first book, The Rise of Rastafari, at Auntie Jean's African Culture Market back in 2019. And How to Market and Sell Your Book, a guide for beginners, How to Market and Sell Your Book, a guide for beginners. I launched at the first collaboration, the Black Book Show virtual book tour in collaboration with Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. I think it was in October 2022.
Yes.
And Experiences of Living Across Africa, my latest book, I also launched at Auntie Jean's African Culture. We did a special one-off event for that as well.
Yes, we did.
Yes. So I'm now going to go on to the next author. The next author is Lashanda Buyers. Lashanda Buyers, she's previously been on the Black Book Show. I think it was about a year and a half when she released her first book now. She's going to tell you more about it. But she talked about her book, the Brown Girl Handbook, and she's back now. She's written another book. I believe this book kind of complements that book, but I'm going to let her explain more anyway. So Lashanda, if you just start by telling us where you're based, a brief background about yourself, and then tell us all about the book you've written, your new book.
Hi, thank you so much for having me back. My name is Lashanda Buyers. I am currently in North Carolina. That's in the US for any of you that are abroad. I have lived in multiple states in the country, but I am back to my home state now. As he stated, I was here about a year and a half ago when I released my debut work, The Brown Girl's Handbook. The Brown Girl's Handbook was a project that was very dear to me. It focuses on healing, self-love, and manifestation. Both of my books can be found on Amazon. They all have 5-star reviews. I've gotten great feedback. I'm not going to focus too much on the Brown Girl's Handbook because, as we've already said, I focused on that the last time, but I will read a little bit of the synopsis for you. Healing, self-love, manifestation, all the above can feel far from a simple tug away for a woman of color navigating the struggles of the brown girl experience. While trauma enacts the cracks which form throughout her world, they are necessary for the brown-skinned woman's wings to emerge as she escapes the cocoon. It says that I have actively made it my mission to be a much-needed beacon of sisterhood to readers who share these daunting feelings and experiences. This book was written after being inspired by a Facebook group that I have called The Brown Girl's Handbook. It is for women of color only, and it's pretty much inspiring posts, such as the same things that this book has. It's very inspiring, motivation, and just a support group for women of color. I know there are many support groups on all the social sites, but I wanted to make a safe space for women of color because a lot of times we're extremely underrepresented. And so this book is the baby of that group. The book that I want to talk about today, however, is called The Brown Girl's Experience. You can see the cover on my background, but I don't have a screen share set up, so I'm going to have to try to show you everything through the camera. These books were written in different parts of my life. When I wrote this book, I thought I want to be transparent. I thought I had a lot of life figured out. At the end of the same year that I published this book, I lost my mother, and it sent me through sort of a downward spiral. As I fought to, get my old self back or regain some sense of normalcy, I pulled from many different places, not only religion, science. I studied linguistic programming, a lot of different things that I accredit to, me making it out of that dark place. I did go through a traumatic experience, and I decided to share it on social media. When I shared it on social media, TikTok specifically, it went viral, more viral than anything I've ever done, with almost 500,000 views, comments. Women, not just women of color, but a lot of women inbox me and message me. They still do when they see the video, because I guess it's still going around. And I felt like I had a responsibility to help women who look like me specifically, because that's a soft spot for me, especially growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I know what it feels like to feel like no one sees you or no one understands. So with that, I decided to make a compilation of things that I felt helped me to progress or come out of, that dark space that I was in after experiencing the loss of my mother, going through the traumatic experience that I went through. And I put that all in a workbook journal. So it's not just a journal. It also has lots of graphs and things. I like to tell people, look at this as a template to create a blueprint for the life that you want. This one is based on a lot of visualization techniques and exercises in the back. If you look at the Brown Girls Experience, however, I wanted to make sure I included beautiful illustrations. I don't know if you can see them, you might not be able to see them, but I wanted to focus on illustration because I'm a big person when it comes to visualizing. I feel like that helps you to put a face to what you're trying to achieve. So mindset is a big thing that I talk about in this book. And just to read a short passage in the introduction to the Brown Girls Experience, it says, the most powerful thing that any of us possess is our mind. Everything we do starts in our minds. Our convictions, likes, dislikes, habits, and memories are all in our minds. The first step to any growth is adjusting our mindset. To make esoteric ascension possible for the everyday woman, one must expand their mind through being receptive to information, thought processes, and ideas that may or may not align with the things that one currently adheres to. After all, if the old way of thinking or doing things was sufficient, there would be no need to be exploring the context of this book. I ask that you open your mind to new information without judgment, whether it be religious or otherwise. So the first part really focuses on having an open mind, life balance, time management. There's exercise, like I said, charts and graphs. Unfortunately, you're not able to see it because of the way that I have my screen set up. But like I said, you can purchase both of these books on Amazon. If you type my name into Amazon, you can find it, or the title is The Brown Girls Experience. The first book is The Brown Girls Handbook. I don't plan on taking up too much of your time. I do want to just go over my favorite part of the conclusion in the Brown Girls Handbook, because I feel like it really ties in the ideas of both publications. It says, have you ever sat and thought that perhaps you haven't attained... Hello? Have you ever sat and thought that perhaps you haven't attained that breakthrough you have been yearning for because you don't honestly believe you deserve it in your deepest self? Superficially, you may have convinced yourself you deserve it because you work hard, have a certain education, or even follow a certain religious doctrine. You may even talk the talk and appear to walk the walk, but have you ever sat with yourself and thought, do I really feel like I deserve this in the core of my very being? You have to know it's in your blueprint, not only because you worked for it, not only because you have suffered and sacrificed. Do you honestly believe it because it is a part of the very essence of who you are, your divine destiny, and ultimately the real you? Faith without works is dead, but when you're working, are you working because you were told that's what it takes? Or do you put in the work because you understand it's simply part of your process? And then there's another part here that I wanted to share that says, our confidence cannot be attached to the mundane essence of our surroundings or our current or past conditions. Still, it must be anchored in the fact that within our deepest desires, we have experienced a glimpse of what is to come. If we continue to press for the mark we have set within our manifestations. Both of these books were dedicated to my mother. This one was published, of course, posthumously for her, but I feel like if you get both of them, fine, but they both serve a great purpose if they're purchased separately. And that's pretty much all I have.
Wow. Thank you so much. And again, please let people know where they can purchase the book.
You can purchase the book on the US Amazon market. You can connect with me at _Lashanda B on Instagram, on Facebook. Thank you, Nyla. On Facebook, my name is Lashanda Buyers, or if you just want to connect through my author page, it's Lashanda B.
And can you mention the title of your books as well?
So the first one is The Brown Girl's Handbook, and the second one is The Brown Girl's Experience. And this one, the second one, which you can see the cover here, is a workbook and journal.
Okay, thank you very much, Lashanda Buyers. Second time on the Black Book Show virtual book tour. Please put your details and that you've mentioned in the Zoom chat as well, in case someone wants to get a book or reach out to you. I'm now going to go on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Martinez White. Martinez, welcome back onto the Black Book Show. Now, Martinez is, I think this is his third appearance on the Black Book Show virtual book tour. I remember when he originally came onto it, and he just really had a great energy. And he also bought quite a few books from a lot of authors. I think he bought about 8 copies of my book, or it might have been more. He bought several of my books. He's also he's written a book himself, but he's also one of the authors, the co-authors of my latest anthology book called Experiences of Living Across Africa, when he talks about his experience of the time that he was studying in Kenya. So Martinez and White, I'm gonna invite you on back to the Black Book Show. Please, what I'd like you to do is to tell us first where you're based, briefly introduce yourself, and then tell us about the books you've written. I'm going to let you decide how you want to do it, whether you want to focus, you're going to do half and half, part of your book and then part of experiences of the chapter you written in my book, Experience of Living Across Africa, or whether you're going to speak about one more than the other. I'll let you decide, but I'm going to hand it over to you to choose what you want to do in terms of the 15 minutes you've got.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on out there, world? It's yours truly, the one, the only Mr. More Than a DJ himself, DJ M. White, live and in living color. I could have been anywhere in the world, but I decided to be here with you today. I'm excited to be here with everybody and to uplift Blackness, to uplift Black excellence. If you with me, we're going to go up to 1,000. But if you with me right now, I need you to at least let me know that your computer is working, that you live with me. Drop a 200
we're live
in the chat.
with you. Yes, you're
drop a 200
bubbling
in the
up.
chat.
You're waking everybody up. Lovely.
Let's get it. There we go. Let's get it. Come on, Auntie Jean. Let's get that 200 in the chat. We're going to take it up to 1,000.
Martinez, I should have had you. I should have had you at the start, not the end. Because you lifted the energies up. I should have put you on earlier.
Hey, let's get it, everybody. Hey, I love what you do, Aconu. I love your authorship, your brotherhood. It's been second to none. I'm a member of the oldest Black fraternity in the world, the first Black fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So any of my Divine Nine brothers and sisters out there, drop a D9 in the chat. Any DSTs out there, AKAs, any Omega brothers out there, Zetas, my sisters are Zeta. I just want to bring y'all a spirit of Black excellence and promote this Black unity and the spirit of Black love. as we culminate and come to an apex here in Black History Month. Here in the States, some of you may know, I'm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right in the Midwest. Some of you may know here in the States, we celebrating Black History Month right now. And I'm just excited to be here and talk a little bit about this book that I've written called Think Like a DJ. I want to talk a little bit about the concept that's in the book, how you can adopt it, how you can apply it to your life, how it can be useful in your everyday, tactical day-to-day living, and just really uplift the spirit of Blackness and Black excellence this Black History Month. So I'm excited to be here. As you know, I need you to, if you with me and you excited just as equally as I am, I need you to drop a 400 in the chat. We're going to double this thing. Drop a 400 in the chat. I'm also going to hit you guys with a link, a quick little short URL to my book, Think Like a DJ, that you see behind me, that I'm going to talk a little bit about. And I'm also going to talk about my chapter and read a little bit, I believe, from this book, and maybe talk a little bit about the essay that I was able to write and contribute to Acon's project, his experiences of living across the Africa project, his anthology. So we're going to get into what it means to think like a DJ. What does this mean to be a DJ? How many of you knew you were DJs today? Before you got on the call, did you know that you were a DJ? You may have never heard of this concept before, but all of us are jocks, our disc jockeys, our DJs, our static selectors. We all are in, some ways, standing behind the turntables of life and taking all these different experiences, all these different things that happen to us and blending them together to create a harmonious lifestyle. We all are trying to cope with the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the mids, the frequencies, the wavelengths that come to us and challenge us in life. And we all got to get to an ultimate destiny of rocking our party. The only difference is we got to think about ourselves as when we think about ourselves as DJs, is we got to think of ourselves as in control. Have you ever thought of yourself of answering one question? I need you to think about this question as you rock with me and ride with me. I need you to think about this question. If your life were a party, how many people will RSVP to your life? If you're only going to live once, will your one party become a party of one? At the end of your life, when you get to the end of your life and you get ready to celebrate your life at your celebration of life, and people come and celebrate and say that this is how Martinez lived, will people be able to, how many people are going to come to your party who are going to fill the dance floor? Will people be able to celebrate at that event? That's what it means to think like a DJ, to put yourself in masterful control and to think of the end at the beginning, to think of reverse engineering your success. And I wrote this book about it. I wrote this book, Think Like a DJ, 7 Steps to Spin Poverty into Prosperity. I wanted to figure out what it meant for me to graduate from poverty, of impoverished mindset, to a mindset of prosperity in the beginning of the pandemic, when George Floyd got killed, Ahmaud Arbery, when all of those tragic events happened to us as Black people around the world, and we keyed into this higher frequency of faith and belief that, this can't be, that we can do better. We can imagine a new future. When we saw the summer from hell in 2020, when we saw blood in the streets, I was thinking to myself, what can I do to add value to my people? And that's how I got a chance to write this book. I started thinking about what was the mindset that I had to be the first person in my family to go to college, to be a 16-year-old college student, to be admitted to college at 16 years old on a full academic scholarship. How did I get out of poverty into a mindset of abundance? How did I get from a mindset of lack and stop asking myself and stop telling myself I can't have this, to start asking in a prosperous way, how can I have this? How can I get my mindset across to my people? And I came up with this idea of thinking like a DJ. I need you to drop 500 in the chat. If we're going up to 1,000, you're going to go up with me. I needed to think about how I could write this in the book. And I created this idea of, I was thinking like a DJ. I've always been thinking like a DJ. I've been DJing for 17 years. I've been nominated for DJ of the Year multiple times. I have an Emmy Award for some work that I've done in television. First in my family to go to college. And I wanted to write this blueprint of success. I wanted to gift this to my Black people and help them really, really plant their feet when they start reaching higher. You got to really get yourself on a solid foundation if you're going to reach higher. If we're going to reach deeper and we're going to reach higher, we got to be able to plant ourselves on a solid foundation. And this was my foundation. This was my blueprint of success. Thinking like a DJ, 7 Steps to Spin Poverty into Prosperity. So I'm going to read a little bit. And I want you to just kind of imagine with me that you a DJ and you in masterful control of your life. You standing behind the turntables of life and you got to spin all these experiences together, no matter what they are, the highs, the lows. It might be a sad song. It might be a a sappy song. It might be a love song. I need you to blend all these different experiences together. I need you to imagine that you the DJ and you standing behind the booth of life. Thinking like a DJ is about lifestyle design. It's a positive mindset leading you to a desired end goal. Ultimately, it is a philosophy of successful life leadership. In this paradigm, you are in control of your life party. It means living a remarkable lifestyle of financial freedom. In this new economy, we must monetize our natural gifts, talents, skills, and abilities in order to create at least 7 streams of income. In all our efforts to achieve abundance, it's imperative that we first lay our baseline lifestyle, equalize our midline frequencies of life experiences, and tweak our highs and lows to play our best life music, ultimately rocking our most successful life party. Join me on the wave of this success by using these 7 proven steps to trailblaze your unique path from poverty to prosperity. Together, we can make the dream circle a reality. You are the DJ, and you're your own client, and your life is the party. How many will RSVP? If you only live once, will your one party be a party of one? I need y'all to drop 700 in the chat. That's the whole book. That's the whole concept in this book. That's the whole philosophy of leadership in this book, that you are in control. When it seems like all things are spiraling down, when it seems like it's a pity party, when it seems like that you're in a space where you can't get out of this negative frequency, when it seemed like the whole world is crashing as it was in 2020, and I didn't know where to run or what to do or how to get from up under the falling sky and the sky falling, I thought to myself, what did I do before? We may have been here in this space before. Our ancestors may have experienced this sort of rigorous social economic stratosphere before. What can I do? I was thinking to myself, how can I create a way for myself? How can I create something from nothing? I need y'all to drop 800 in the chat because we're going deeper, we're reaching higher. It was this philosophy of thinking like a DJ. That, hey, Martinez, you in control no matter what's happening around you. You in masterful control of your destiny. And it's up to you to take all these different experiences and blend them together. So when I'm talking about experiences and gifts and talents, and we all have as Black folks, and I'm going to leave it here, I'm going to end it here. As Black folks, we naturally born with the ability to create something from nothing. We naturally born with the ability to be entrepreneurs and to be resilient and to be able to have endurance. So if we could do anything, what will we do? If you could be anything that you put your mind to, what do you want to put your mind to? That's what it means to think like a DJ. What party do you want to create? In order for us to get to the point where we actually rocking our party, we got to first get through the first stage. The first step in the 7 steps is to pick a tempo. I challenge you to pick a tempo. I challenge you to think about how fast or how slow you want to get to your dream. That's what it means to pick a tempo. If I'm going to start a wedding, I might DJ or a corporate event at 120 BPMs, beats per minute, versus a young high school dance or a high school party or an event. I might start at 66 beats per minute. A lot of the new songs are a little bit slower. But I pick a tempo. I decide where I'm going to start. And then I got to get to the second chapter. I got to drop my first record. You're going to have to drop your first record. You're going to have to act on faith. You're going to have to believe in this tempo that you created in order to drop your first record, to ride the beat, feel the beat, ride the wave, keep spinning hits, feel your dance floor, and then rock your party. You got to get a copy of this book. I want to introduce you to this mindset of thinking like a DJ, this mindfulness of you being in control, and no matter where you are in the world, that you can blend these different songs together so you won't have a pity party, and you'll be able to answer the question that I asked earlier. If your life was a party, how many people will RSVP? And if you're only going to live once, will your one party become a party of one? Drop 1,000 in the chat. I just took y'all up with me. Get a chance to grab my book. I want to quickly say thank you to Aconu for welcoming me onto this Black Books webinar to celebrate Black History Month with you guys and your sisters on here. I ask you to dig a little bit deeper and reach a little bit higher. This Black History Month for the rest of this year, 24, it's only 24 seconds on the shot clock. Ain't no more time, baby. It's time for you to shoot. It's time for you to shoot. So if you got dreams, you got goals, you got visions, I ask that you manifest them. You get with like-minded individuals, and you see yourself as a DJ. You see yourself in masterful control of your destiny, and you're going to be able to blend all these different things together. It might be a sad song right now, but wait till I get to this next record. You ever heard the DJ or see a DJ? DJ, he got the headphones. You don't know what the DJ doing with the headphones. Only the DJ knows. I need you to know what you're doing next. I need you to listen to the music in your headphones. Have your music queued up and dive in deeper. Thank you, Aconu. Also, thank you for publishing my essay in your anthology. experiences of living across Africa, where I talk about my experience of living in Kenya. I do believe that we are one as Black people around this globe, around this world. I got a chance to live in Africa at 19 years old, and I write about it in Makona's anthology. I need you to go and grab a copy of that book, get a copy of that brother's book, and support each other. That's my time. I'm DJ M. White. Follow me on Instagram at intuition_productions. Intuition_productions. There you go. Or hit me up on Facebook at Intuition Productions.
Thank you
Names are made
so
to be
much,
achieved.
Martinez. I loving your energy.
Let's get it,
Loving the
y'all.
energy. Give thanks.
Okay, that's Martinez MY, author of the book Think Like a DJ, and also one of the co-authors of my book, Experiences of Living Across Africa. And you can get a copy of that book, Experiences of Living Across Africa. It is available to be purchased. It's available on Amazon along with my other book titles as well. But that book, Experiences of Living Across Africa, I'm just going to briefly talk about it for a few minutes. It's an anthology which highlights the experiences of people who live in Africa and others who have previously lived there. It's from the perspective of those who have moved to an African country from outside the continent, i.e. those from the diaspora, and those who have moved within the continent, i.e. from one African country to another African country. Experiences of Living Across Africa contains articles by men and women from different walk of life who are all of African descent, by the way. It features people such as princes, the prominent son of a civil rights leader, those that assist in relocating to Africa, tour operators and guides, authors, media experts, former students, and a retiree. The book is focused on 14 nations situated in different regions across Africa, north, south, east, and west. Through reading the book, you'll gain a better understanding of what to anticipate and consider when relocating to one of these African countries. This anthology is a great resource for people looking to move to Africa and for those eager to learn about the customs and cultures of different African societies. Additionally, this book can also be used by those searching for a place to visit on holiday. So experiences of living across Africa. I was always going to say think like a DJ then. Experiences of living across Africa. Again, that book can be purchased on Amazon. It's in paperback and Kindle. And yeah, it's a really great book. Even if you don't have to be, wanting to move to Africa, it could even be that you're looking for a place to go on holiday, or you just want to know more information, about the continent, about the customs and cultures, and life in certain African countries. But it's a really enlightening book. It's got, I believe, it's 14 contributors that talk about experiences of being in across different African countries. And I didn't want it to just concentrate on particularly West Africa, where a lot of people tend to go, Ghana or Gambia. I wanted to also cover, the different regions and places, in Africa that are not always, talked about, that that people that are living and that have made a life there. So it's a really great book, Experiences of Living Across Africa. We are now coming to a conclusion of the Black Book Show. Before we do that, just a few things that I'm gonna say. Just a reminder, everyone, if you haven't already, if you're on social media, please join the Black Book Show Facebook group. It's the best place to stay up to date about the latest information regarding the Black Book Show, regarding events, author information, etc. So please do join the Black Book Show Facebook group, and you'll be kept on that Facebook group giving information about when the next virtual book tour is. If you're on my mailing list, you'll also get a notification about when the next Black Book Show virtual book tour is. Or if you're on Auntie Jean's mailing list, you'll also get information about that, which is actually on Sunday the 31st of March, which is when the next Black Book Show virtual book tour will be happening. That's Sunday the 31st of March, between 7 and 10 p.m. That's England time. Obviously, depending on your time zone, it will vary. Just one thing that I want to actually say as well, because when Martinez, the last speaker, spoke, he mentioned Black History Month. So for those people in UK that might be thinking it's in October, so Martinez is based in USA. In USA, America, their Black History Month is in February. It's in UK, England, it's celebrated in October. So that's why he's said Black History Month in referring to it, because we obviously in the month of February at the moment, and he's based in USA. Also, feel free to join the Black Book Show or to visit the Black Book Show Facebook, the website. The website, if you go on blackbookshows.com, you'll be able to catch up with previous editions of Black Book Show virtual book tours. Check out, podcast interviews that have happened as well. And I've actually started uploading author videos now as well, which are basically, as well as many other things, I'm also a professional video editor. So these are authors that have been on the Black Book Show that I've professionally edited their video clips, and that they can, use on social media. So if you're an author that's featured on the Black Book Show and you would like a professionally edited video of your speech to promote on your social media or your website, etc. Or indeed, if you haven't been on the Black Book Show, but you'd still like to take out the service and have a professionally edited promo video, please contact me. And that can also be possibly arranged as well. We can have a discussion about that. If you'd like to contact me for any reasons in regards to the Black Book Show, whether your author would like to feature on the Black Book Show, whether you like to sponsor the Black Book Show, I just want to point out, to sponsor the Black Book Show, you do not have to be an author. You could be a Black business owner, that's, want to promote a product or service. It could be, I've had people that have had a Black business directory, albeit linked to books in that case, because they'll promote, obviously this is a show for authors, but in general, you don't have to have people that have promoted back in the day, like t-shirts, herbal teas, and other events and other things. So if you've just got a general business, and you're a Black business owner and you would like to promote your business or service, feel free to reach out to me, and I will let you know what sponsorship packages we have for the virtual book tour. If you would like to make a donation, you can also contact me, enter your name, email address, and send me a message. Or if you would just like to give feedback regarding the shows, I always appreciate, feedback from people that have watched the shows, about what they liked, maybe what they could have been done better, etc. General feedback, that would be very, very much appreciated. A reminder that I have got my radio show, the Black Books Radio Show, tomorrow, happening on Luton Urban Radio, Monday, 26th of February, between 8 and 10 p.m. England time, where I'll be interviewing a variety of authors of African heritage. If you're on the mailing list or the Facebook group, info will be there. If not, you just go on tinyurl.com/LURlive, or simply LURlive.com at 8 p.m. That's UK time. And that's the Black Books Radio Show, which is a 2-hour show where I interview authors and go in a bit more in depth with them about the books that they've written. Many of the authors on the virtual book tour do at some point have already been, or they will be going on the radio show at some point. If your author has been on the virtual book tour and I haven't already spoken to you about the radio show and podcast, and you would like to feature on it, or you're an author in general as well, get in touch with me via the website, contact us, or DM me on Facebook, or you can also contact me via info@blackbookshows.com, info@blackbookshows.com, or WhatsApp +44 7943 178 117. That is WhatsApp +44 7943 178 117. Just put Black Book Show host. You can store me as that, and you can remember me. I've put that details as well in the Zoom chat. But I'm just gonna go now to Auntie Jean for her final words in regards to the Black Book Show. I'm not sure whether the Auntie Jean's market is staying open after this, but I'll go back to you first before we come back to me to conclude the Black Book Show.
No, we're closing up when you conclude with the Black Book Show, but thank you to all the authors who's come and joined us here this evening. Absolutely brilliant listening to segments from your books and what you're doing. Absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to put my name, my name and my number in the chat if you would like to come on to any of the other Auntie Jean's African Culture Market Zooms to speak a little bit more about your book and a bit more about yourself, and then please do get in contact with me, and I'll give you a slot on one of the programs. So yes, we do have the Auntie Jean's African Culture Market, the physical, on Sunday the 17th of March between 2 o'clock and 4. I shall also put those details into the chat. Will be held at St Andrew's Church Community Centre in Brockley, and the postcode is SE42SA. And for anybody who wants to get in contact with me via who's on the radio, Black Culture Radio, my telephone number is +447 is 07 if you're in the UK, 7961886032. I should put those details into the chat. Russ McCunnon, thank you. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, conclusion of the Black Book Show of Auntie Jean's African Culture Market. I hope you all see me again next month in which will be March the 31st. And yeah, tell a friend, hopefully next Zoom, instead of, 50 or 60 people coming on, we could have 600 people on. That would be great, as we want to continue to grow this platform, which is a special platform dedicated to authors of African heritage. So thank you all, for all the authors that spoke, or the speakers that spoke, and for, people that, took your time out to watch the Black Book Show, this virtual book tour this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to close off now by saying, yeah, goodbye to everyone and see you next month. Goodbye.